crazy, yeah, that shit makes me crazy, yeah, that shit makes me. You make me go loco, baby, yeah, that shit makes me crazy.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Lost Aux Media.
Baby, yeah, that shit makes me crazy, yeah, that shit makes me crazy, yeah, that shit makes me. You make me go loco, baby, yeah, that shit makes me crazy, yeah, that shit makes me crazy. You make me go loco.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of good jamokes this episode, but I'm thinking we start out with a couple smokes. We already got the tunes, so I'm thinking there's no better way to start this episode than to have a couple of posts to accentuate that.
You make me go loco, baby, yeah, that shit makes me crazy, yeah, that shit makes me crazy, yeah, that shit makes me. You make me go loco, baby, yeah, that shit makes me crazy, yeah, that shit makes me crazy. You make me go loco. You make me go loco, baby. You make me go loco, baby. You make me go loco, baby. You make me go loco, baby.
Ooh. So I'm thinking we start this episode with a light week segment. You guys remember the week segment?
I'd be a pedophile for 20 million.
That's Ethan Klein, the What's Eating Ethan Klein segment. We haven't had one in a while. And here's the thing. Some of you guys will comment on the episodes and be like, no What's Eating Ethan Klein segment, man. That's a fucking fail, bro. Look, man, you can't cover him every week if he's not doing anything. You know, he hasn't been having these anti-Semitic crash outs. He moved on to bigger and better things. He's gone on to Anissa Joma and iDubbbz. He's exposing the hell out of him. This guy's had a pretty good week this past week, I'm not going to lie. Go back and watch the episode where Ethan has iDubbbz and Anissa's boxing trainer on. They expose the whole creator class shit. Anissa and iDubbbz getting fucking profits instead of all of the money going to charity like it's supposed to. They're hosting galas when they're 500,000 in the red, you know? And basically exposing how Anissa is kind of just like suckling off of this iDubbbz guy and going about just ruining his whole goddamn life. Such a sad thing. Sad to see what this piece of shit has become. But we have a light week segment for you this week. What's Eating Ethan Klein segment. It's a very light one. Like I said, this one might send you on a little bit of a tailspin. Okay?
Anyway, that's Boogie.
Hey. Don't go crazy. So, wait until you see this time code. These guys, you know Love? The Swedish heartthrob Love? You know, gorgeous. My man, gorgeous. He has that soundbite now. Zach uses it all the time. He said it kind of weird. Gorgeous. So, Love, the Swedish token idiot on the show, they end up finding out something about Love that I think is going to really, really fuck up your psyche when you hear this. Wait until you hear Love's little secret. Check this out.
So you want me to do the first thing on the list here? Let's see. Oh yeah, this is big. This is big. Lots of thoughts here. So Love, now, as far as I can tell, this is not a joke. This is real. Love outed himself, and you can tell he was hesitant to bring it out. But I'm grateful that you did, Love, because this is an important conversation that we need to be having.
I'm a man of truth.
Now,
There's no point in hiding.
I genuinely appreciate it. I think there's a lot to be talked about here.
Yeah.
So here is Love by being outed by his chat and being forced to confront his demons here on stream.
That's right. 1 sec.
Now, what could it be? What could this be about? Mr. Love. What could be the big secret? Could it be that he's gay? I would believe that, actually. If Love was gay, I would believe it. Because he's weird. He's very weird. You know this guy, like, doesn't drink water? He drinks, like, strictly gamer subs. Like, he could go endless amounts of time. He will not drink a shred of pure water. Not even an ounce. He hates it that much. And, you know, the Swedes, like, in Europe, they have a lot of weird habits that we don't have. Like in Germany, they eat that hoopsie poopsie, the meat that comes in a mason jar. You cook it and it comes out like a prolapsed anus. You remember that? We covered that on the show. So these Europeans, they're crazy. So I'm very curious as to what this could possibly be. What is Love's chat going to out him for?
I only have $2, Love. Love you and address the bacon. Oh my god, not the bacon. Oh.
The bacon.
Oh no, not the bacon. Guys, please, I don't want to talk about the bacon controversy.
Just resubscribed for 9 months. My stream baby is due.
What is the bacon controversy? I'm very curious as to this bacon controversy. Does he eat too much bacon? Is he eating too little bacon? What about bacon do you not want to tell us?
We should stop in a sec.
Okay, so
There he goes.
guys, regarding I see all of you guys liking that super chat. Okay, should I address the bacon controversy or no?
Yes.
Dress the bacon in the
Yes,
room, Love.
Please.
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't
All
want
right.
to, but
Let me tell you guys about the bacon controversy.
I did.
We had a little bit of an oopsie last stream, okay?
my cooking stream.
Bacongate, okay. Guys, I didn't really want to talk about this because you guys are bringing it up like freaking bacon allegations. Okay, so I'm gonna speak in hypotheticals. I may or may not have known that you had to cook bacon.
What the fuck?
What did I just hear? Look at Love. And he's trying to do that stupid ass cool Kanye face that he always does every time he says something. You ever notice that? I hate that he does that. Every single time Love, he'll say something and he'll try to do this like Kanye West face where he goes like, and he gets like all serious and shit. And if you pay attention, I'm telling you, I swear to God, pay attention. You'll notice, if you never noticed it before, you'll start to notice it now. Promise. And you'll notice Love does it, and Ethan is starting to adopt this as well. You'll notice, watch, every time Ethan says something that he thinks is like a hard-hitting point or somewhat cool, he'll kind of do the same thing. He'll go into his Twitch and he'll go like, and he'll get like serious, especially when he's wearing the suit. He grabs both sides of those lapels and he goes, I'm Ethan Klein, host of the H3 show. You're real serious. I hate that Love does this. So look, he drops the bomb. Love may or may not known that you are supposed to cook bacon. So Love is eating bacon raw. He thought that bacon came like that slimy and that you just eat it like that. And this is what I was talking about with these Europeans doing and eating weird shit. It's like, who in their right mind would think that you're supposed to eat something so slimy, nasty, like oysters, bro? That's another one. I'm like, who the hell thought that you were supposed to eat those? Like, that's garbage to me. I could be a caveman. I would look at that and go like, oh, no, that's no good. I'd throw that away. You know what I mean? Look at all my other caveman guys. Like, whatever that is, it's garbage. We don't need it. It smells weird. It looks weird. It feels weird. Why would you eat it? You know, it's the same thing. If you get this bacon is slimy, it's bloody sometimes when you get it in the package. It's disgusting. And he's been eating it raw his entire life. Love is like 26 years old, dude. He's been eating raw bacon his entire life. And wait, it doesn't stop with this thing goes deep. This Bacongate thing goes deep. Deep throat deep.
Bacon allegations. Okay, so I'm gonna speak in hypotheticals. I may or may not have known that you had to cook bacon. I thought it was cooked. I thought it came cooked. All right. Just a minor misunderstanding on my part. I may or may not have been snacking on raw bacon all my life.
Oh my God.
But my beautiful, wonderful shatters last streams, bro, you're cooked. Oh, brother.
You're cooked, bro. You're cooked. Unlike your bacon, you're cooked, bro. That's it. It's over for you. Like, I'm surprised he hasn't died yet. He doesn't drink any water. He eats like nothing but like dino chicken nuggets and raw bacon all day. And he's gaming 16 hours a day. He's probably getting like 2 hours of sleep a night, max. And this guy is this is insanity, bro. And here's the thing. Life is so full of context clues to like tell you like, oh, the bacon might not be cooked. For example, you get a package of raw bacon, all the fat on it, right? You see that it's like still white. It looks kind of weird, you know what I mean? Have you never like cooked a steak before? The fat looks the same almost. It's like this, it looks almost the same. You never got a steak and thought that the steak was fully cooked, did you? That's the thing that throws me off with this clip. What in, like, who the fuck made Swedish people that they're coming out like this? Like, they're this retarded. No wonder they're like the most peaceful nation, like, on earth. Like, they don't want to get into wars. You know, they try to stay neutral. It's because they're retarded. If they weren't neutral, they would be so easily influenced. These guys would have been fighting for the Nazis in a heartbeat if they would have just got a little, ear to the ground, just a little bit. Easily influenced. It tells me. And people make jokes about Polish people being stupid. That's crazy to me. But that's the thing. See, I might be talking kind of out of left field here because, like I said, in Europe, they have like weird and nasty food like that. So it's like that really could like slimy bacon like that. I mean, they probably have like 10 other foods that are fully cooked that are exactly just as slimy, just as disgusting. Like, it's crazy. Listen to the rest of this.
How am I supposed to know everything? Okay, you know.
First of all, have you done this in front of your girlfriend?
Snacking on bacon?
Yeah, raw bacon.
No.
Have you done this in front of other people who they stopped you? Like, if I saw someone snacking raw bacon, I would say, whoa.
My dad.
But your dad, you've been doing this since you were a kid, you said.
Yeah.
Your dad also.
Ooh, Ethan's about to ask the $1 million question. The only person Love has ever eaten raw bacon in front of in his entire life is his father. Ethan, take it away.
Oh.
My dad.
But your dad, you've been doing this since you were a kid, you said.
Yeah.
Does your dad also do this? Holy shit.
Oh, my Lord.
This is a deep controversy. Now, Love, I have to ask you this. Clearly, you've had bacon out. Why? Have you ever wondered why no one ever serves bacon like that at restaurants?
Do you want to get into it?
Yes, dude. What are you? Look, he's doing the face again. He's doing the face again. I told you about that. My man, cooler than a cucumber. Love, cooler than the other side of the pillow. You want to get into it? Watch him do the face.
No one ever serves bacon like that at restaurants?
Do you want to get into it?
Look at the face.
Should I finish watching? Is there more?
There's more.
There's
when you see the moment of realization.
Yeah, well, I was cooking bacon and.
No, you didn't cook, dude.
No, I'm not cooking bacon.
Well,
Bro didn't cook.
I
bro.
wasn't gonna, but then I was
answer the
forced
question. What did you ever wonder why it is when you go out to eat, the bacon is crispy
Okay, so
and cooked?
So let's get into this here. I prefer my bacon cooked.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I do.
It's not a preference. I prefer my chicken cooked as well. You know, I prefer. Yeah, I don't
By
like
the
this.
way, it's Swedish National Day today, by the way, so I'm very glad we're talking about this today. But
Let's give it up for the Swedes. Swedes. Imagine being a Swedish person, right? And you know that H3 is like one of the more popular shows out there in the world on YouTube, right? And this is how you're represented. This A-boff.
so I prefer it cooked, but in the process of cooking it, I like to take a scissor and just cut up the pack like this. So they're small bits. And I throw it all in the pan. And then before it's done, I eat a little bit. And I never knew, I thought the smoking process cooked it. There's a thing in Sweden called something. It's like a bacon type deal that's called warm smoked, which cooks the bacon. I thought this was all bacon. Apparently, it's just a very little percentage of bacon that's warm smoked, and that's kind of where the issue started.
So there you go. I forgot about that part of it. So let's give it up. I mean, Love, he got tricked because of that European shit that I was telling you. So there is a bacon out there in Sweden that's called warm smoked. And you can eat warm smoked right out the package. Look at that, Love. So you're not as stupid as I thought you were, man. It was all a misunderstanding.
So I used to eat just a little bit while it's cooking. I didn't eat a lot, luckily. And also in Sweden, there's no salmonella. The percentage of salmonella in Sweden.
I wouldn't be worried about that. I'd be worried about like parasites and shit. Salmonella is not what I would be worried about eating raw bacon.
You get like
You might have
any
RFK brainworm.
well, I have had some issues lately, so that might be it.
Also, Love doesn't go to the bathroom frequently. I think he's feeding the parasite.
I think so too. That's kind of where I was getting at. I have a very, very slow metabolism.
This guy might have like a tapeworm. Like, if a doctor split this dude open, he'd probably find like 32 feet of solid worm. You have to. There's no way, dude. You've been eating bacon. And bacon's like, it's just as universal of a breakfast food as anywhere as it is in America. You know what I mean? Like, you could go to any part of the world that's like somewhat developed and they're eating bacon for breakfast. Like, it's not like just an American thing. So it's a common breakfast food. So he's probably eaten a lot of it throughout his life. Especially his dad's been eating it like that too, right? Dude, this is insanity, and it gets worse.
I have the same problem.
But also, I should have gained a lot more weight. Let's just put it that way. I don't really move a lot, and I eat a lot. So I'm thinking that this parasite might be a good thing. I haven't taken...
Love, you're not going to let... I said, ask what's the risk of eating raw bacon?
Yeah.
Triptolina spiralis, a parasitic roundworm found in undercooked pork. Can cause muscle pain, fever, diarrhea, and in rare cases, serious complications like heart or brain inflammation.
I don't have any of those.
God.
I don't have any of those, which is great.
So that's less common in U.S. pork.
And
so
probably
that's good.
even less common
Salmonella, whatever, you just get sick, you're fine.
But all these parasites is even less common in Sweden, luckily.
You're not in Sweden anymore.
Yeah, I know. So we have about
Dorothy.
a 2-year period here where I might have gravely messed up.
Well, let me continue this and then there's Listeria monocytogene.
That doesn't sound that bad.
Can grow in refrigerator environments, risky for pregnant women. Okay, well that excludes you.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Toxoplasma gondii.
Oh yeah,
a parasite that can lead to
All right, let's skip ahead a little bit because he talks about like his dad and how his dad reacted to it. His dad was like pissed. His dad wants to eat the bacon raw. He was upset about it.
I really haven't had that in many years.
So as long,
actually the opposite.
Okay.
So I want to propose something here that might be a little bit controversial, but you know, as you are familiar with, Ethan, I actually haven't taken a sick day since I started here at all. 5 years. And I contribute this to eating raw bacon, I think.
Oh my
Because that's the only one difference between my fellow colleagues here. They do not eat raw bacon, and as far as I know, they have been sick the past 5 years.
That could be. That could be it.
Diet will fix
So
that.
I'm thinking I'm going to
Look,
continue.
so he throws all his employees under the bus. He goes, I'm like the most loyal guy here. I think everyone should eat raw bacon off of this. What are you, insane?
Well, just keep an eye out for muscle pain, fever, diarrhea, or heart or brain inflammation.
Yeah, and as fast as I feel any of them,
I want to hear the dad, dude. Listen to this.
I let it cook for like 30 seconds. No. It's definitely, I eat it extremely undercooked.
So when you eat it, is it warm?
Yes.
It's not cold.
No. But I have eaten raw bacon, like fully raw bacon at some point. Because I didn't know it was a danger, you know what I mean? I thought it was cooked.
I would honestly suggest not doing that.
And here's the thing on top of all of this. How could that taste good to anybody? Like, forget all the raw and everything. It's like, but how could it taste good? Like, let's say bacon was fully cooked. You could eat it just like that right out the package. I think it still wouldn't taste good. Like, you would have to cook it to get it to be edible. I don't know. This is insane. I'm like, this is really. You notice I'm like just letting it play. This is fascinating to me.
For our viewers, I'd suggest
not even just for our health, just because it's odd.
Sure.
One day you're gonna have some over your house.
Yeah.
And it's just gonna turn.
I would never do it in front of them.
Love, can I ask? Like, one of the finer things in life is having some really good crispy bacon.
Yeah.
As I said, I do prefer my bacon cooked. It's just
Evidently not.
On the process. I get a little giddy, and I'm like, damn, this bacon smells fucking bussin'. It's sizzling in the pan.
You can't wait for it.
I pop a couple bits, you know what I mean?
Well, here, can I recommend something?
Sure, yeah.
If you don't want,
God, dude, that's insane. I guess we're not gonna get to his dad. Trust me, his dad was pissed. He said that once his dad found out, his dad called the bacon company, complained, and said he's never gonna buy bacon from that brand again. Dude, it's like 90%. You're not going to be buying like 90% of the bacon on the market, my friend. Let's give it up for Love and his raw bacon. Gotta love that. That'll do it for the What's Eating Ethan Klein segment, man. I still couldn't believe that. When I had heard that, I was like, dude, there's no way this can be real. There's no way that this can be real. Mr. Ethan Klein's crew, dude. Mr. Anti-Semitism himself. Speaking of Mr. Anti-Semitism, you guys hear about this Dave Portnoy? You guys hear about this? This guy, he's been going through it, man. Apparently, this guy has been getting hit left and right with the anti-Semitism stick. People are really going out of their way to express their hatred for Jews when it comes to Dave Portnoy. And here's the thing. I think it's really just people putting a stick in Dave's spokes, so to speak, metaphorically speaking, you know. Like, it's kind of like this. Dave made, so you remember the incident where Dave had the sign at his bar, the fuck the Jews sign at his bar, and he made a huge deal out of it. I'll refresh your memory in case you don't remember. So Dave owns a couple of Barstool bars. One of them happens to be in Philly, right? And at the bars, you can get bottle service. And part of the bottle service is your bottles come with a sign. And you get to write what you want on the sign. This could be for like special occasions. Let's say you're getting bottle service for somebody's birthday. You're going to write on the sign, "Happy birthday, Chuck," you know, something like that. So that's kind of what the sign's purpose is. So a group of kids went in there. They got some bottle service. We're talking early 20s, these kids were. So the fact that they're getting bottle service at that age, you know these boys are wilding, right? They write on their sign, "Fuck the Jews." Fuck the Jews, right? And somehow the servers were stupid enough to let that one pass through, and they ended up getting the sign. Now, these boys ended up posting that on social media. And people made a big deal out of it. And they go, "Hey, wait a minute. Dave, don't you own that place?" And then Dave made a big deal out of it, right? Now, at first, Dave goes, "Oh, man, I'm going to ruin these kids' lives. I'm going to expose them. I'm going to fucking make them regret the fact that they ever posted the sign." And then he takes some time to think about it. 5 minutes later, he posts another video. He goes, "You know what? I talked to the boys. I talked to their parents. I'm sending the boys to Auschwitz." He goes, "A full expense paid trip to Auschwitz on me. You know, why ruin their lives when instead I could send the boys to Germany." He thought Auschwitz was in Germany. He goes, "I could send the boys to Germany and teach the boys a thing or two. Hopefully these guys, these fucking goys, you know, these fucking, what are they called? What do Jewish people call, like, not Jewish people? Isn't it goys? Don't they call them, like, goys or something like that?" So he goes, maybe these goys come back reformed men. You know, maybe they learned something about the Jews. So I could have this as a moment to enlighten them rather than ruin their lives. 5 minutes after that post goes live, he goes, "The boys are anti-Semites. I talked to them on the phone. They took it all back. They're not going to Auschwitz. I'm ruining their life. He starts going on this whole ping pong, like the back and forth with the whole thing. Naturally, people are going to make fun of this, and naturally, trolls are going to take note of something like this, right? If you make a big deal about something bothering you online, and it's public, and a lot of people see it, a lot of people hear it, they're going to take what's bothering you, they're going to use it against you in any way that they possibly can. You got to think of it as like an Achilles heel, so to speak, right? So you think of it like this. Dave goes online, he makes a big deal about the anti-Semitic sign. Anyone who hates on Dave, or any trolls out there on the internet, are going to go, oh man, this is really bothering him. They're going to look at it as an Achilles heel. Now, any chance that they get to fuck with you, they're going to go, hey, you know what really, really gets this guy? You know what really grinds his gears? It's the fuck the juice thing. They're going to use that every chance that they possibly can. So the bigger deal that you make about it, the bigger deal everyone else makes about it, including the trolls. So I wanted to show you guys, Dave, this is an example of what happens when you just don't let the shit go. You know what I mean? When you just don't roll with the punches, when you try to control the way people react about things online, when you try to control the things that people say, when you get pissed and you make it a big deal that anti-Semitic jokes really, really cut you deep, this is a result of that. So Dave ends up having a one-bite pizza review at a place called Terrazas in Toronto, Ontario, right? He has it with a man named Davey Pageviews. This is Davey Pageviews over here. This guy, he's an extra that didn't make it on The Sopranos. So this guy takes Dave around to all these different pizza joints in Toronto, shows him the best slice in the city, one of them being Terrazas Pizza. This is a pizza joint owned by a man named like Larry Lasagna or something like that. No joke, Lasagna is like his birth name. Now this is going to start out as a regular pizza review, but it's quickly going to change. And this is what I want to show you guys here.
Welcome back.
Let's skip that.
We're here for,
Let's go to this time code right here. So this right here, this guy in the Blue Jays shirt, I think he's like the Suns owner. So he's like Larry Lasagna's son, Joey Spaghetti or something. I don't know what the fucking kid's name is. So they're having this nice moment, right? This guy apparently years back at some Toronto game, some Major League Baseball game, this guy missed a home run catch that he could have made in the crowd. And for some reason, the news made a big deal out of it. So he kind of like went viral for it. Guy's showing Dave this scrapbook. He's got all these pictures, all the screenshots from the different talk shows where they talked about him and played his clip, all his interviews. He's like, Dave, it was the best 3 days of my life. I'm telling you, nothing has compared to it since this pizza review. You know? Nothing has lived up to that moment until right now, Dave, until right when you stepped into this pizza place. They're having such a nice moment. And this moment's quickly going to change during this pizza review. Watch this.
Jimmy Fallon to Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel. It's the craziest 3 days of my life.
we're here for the Bitcoin conference. And obviously we had to check in with the Greek. We're here.
Naturally, Bitcoin conference. I'm liking that. Dave's fit. Very suiting to the Bitcoin conference. No pun intended. Suiting. And for those of you listening at home, he is wearing a suit. He's got a nice dark beige blazer, handkerchief in the front pocket. He's got a crisp button up underneath. This is what I like about the button up. It's got a second flap where the holes for the buttons are, right? Now, you might be asking me what that second flap is for, and I'll tell you if you just give me a second. The second flap is so that after you button the shirt, right, you people who see you, they aren't bombarded with these ugly plastic buttons that are on your cheap button-up. Instead, it has a flap that goes over where those holes are, so now it just seems it's all shirt, no buttons. You wouldn't even know it was buttoned, you know? And then, of course, he has a thin chain with a pendant on it. It's probably the first nickel that he ever picked up as a child. That I would imagine. He got it encased in silver, and he wears it as a memento so that he never forgets where he came from. He is a Jew, after all. So, and then, of course, you got nice Chad in the background of this shot. Very good. I wonder if that guy's going to the Bitcoin conference as well. If not, Dave, let him hitch a ride because he definitely would like to go. So here's the One Bite Pizza review, Terraz's Pizza. Take it away, Dave.
We're here, so he's taking us where we got to go. These are his spots, his recommendations.
Correct. Buddy, you're going to have a great experience.
Right.
Listen, Dave, when you go see the pizza maker, I have like a formula when I see the pizza maker. I like the pizza maker to resemble like Super Mario or Luigi.
Yeah,
I'm not into Where's Waldo.
Super Mario or Luigi, bro.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
I like my pizza maker to be like a fat Italian guy with a crazy looking mustache, right? Red undershirt, blue overalls. I like him to walk around town, getting high on mushrooms every chance he gets. He eats a couple of those caps, he gets this weird twinkle in his eye, right? And once he gets that twinkle, he starts singing that tune, and he starts speeding up. Next thing you know, this crazy mushroomed out Italian is running around town, killing turtles every chance he gets. He's stomping them to death. And he makes the best pies in Toronto. You gotta give it up for this guy. Dave, I'm telling you, you don't want some Where's Waldo looking fucking creep in the pizza kitchen. You need a mushroom-eating, turtle-killing Italian plumber like my man Mario.
Listen, Dave, when you go see the pizza maker, I have like a formula when I see the pizza maker. I like the pizza maker to resemble like Super Mario or Luigi. I'm not into Where's Waldo.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like some of these guys that are making pizza now, they think they're curing cancer. It's like, calm down. You know, like be friendly, be nice, and you support a local business.
Yes, correct. So he's calling this old school terrazza. One bite, everybody knows the rules. We didn't get here the first time. Place is very cool on the inside. We got Frankie Lasagna's whole...
I want you to remember this image right here. You got Dave with the pizza. You got my man Joey Spaghetti over here. This is Larry Lasagna's son. Hanging out with the Blue Jays gear on. Full effect, reliving that viral moment of his when he missed that home run catch. And then you have the neighborhood children standing behind him at the entrance of Terrazas. You couldn't paint a promotional picture better than this for this restaurant. It shows a family aspect. It shows a neighborhood aspect. It shows that this is a place where you can come, hang out, relax, get a slice, and everybody kind of feels like they're at home. This is what I'm getting from this picture, This is a nice slice of life moment. Dave's about to do this one bite review, and this is where the anti-Semitism comes into play.
The first time, place is very cool on the inside. We got Frankie Lasagna's whole story, which almost seemed borderline not believable. Like, see, there we go.
Fuck the Jews, bro! Dave over here. There we go. These guys. He's over there. He's trying to look at his team. He goes, you guys get a license plate? You guys get a license plate, bro? I'm not going to let this one slide. This one's not fucking cool. He's doing... This is crazy, bro. He's doing this. He goes, oh, God. Now, this is the thing. I know I'm making fun of it. This is a funny situation to happen, right? This is just a couple kids driving by. Here's the thing. The reason to me why I'm bringing this up is because right now, in this moment, Dave is justified to be, upset about that, right? Like, if I was sitting there doing a pizza review and some guy drove by and he was like, hey, you fucking spick, I'd be like, oh, you know what I mean? I'd be like, what the hell is happening here? Like, I just got into town. I'm just trying to enjoy a couple slices. It's like, what the hell? You know what I mean? But I wouldn't go and make, a whole online campaign about it. But that's not what we're talking about in this very moment. Right now, he's kind of justified to be like, this is bullshit, Come on, guys. Like, what the hell is this? Watch what happens after. This is what I have a problem with. Watch this. Let's watch this moment one more time. Watch Dave's reaction to this.
First time, place is very cool on the inside. We got Frankie Lasagna's whole story, which almost seemed borderline not believable. Like, see, there we go. There we go. What are you guys fucking laughing about?
Hey, yo, what the fuck, bro? What are you guys fucking laughing about? Bro, this is a group of 13-year-old kids, sir. This is a group of 13-year-old kids, bro. And here's the thing. When I was growing up, like, kids, like, you see, look at these guys. These kids are like, they're shook. They're laughing because they're uncomfortable. They don't know what the fuck is going on here. You know what I mean? Kids nowadays, they hardly even go outside. You're lucky you're even seeing. This is like seeing like a deer out in the middle of a field. You're like, hold on. Because any sudden moves, and these kids are going to scurry back to their houses and start playing Call of Duty faster than you could blink. The fact that they're outside is a fucking miracle. All right? These kids don't know anything about, like, being out in social settings where there's confrontation in the mix. So what a lot of people, they react to that kind of stuff by anxiously laughing. You know, this happens a lot with people. A lot of people do this, especially kids. These kids could have genuinely thought it was funny. They're fucking children, bro. They're all daydreaming about driving around in a car yelling shit at people. Like, when I was growing up, I'll tell you right now, when I was growing up, if we were driving by in that car, you would have got a lot more than fuck the Jews, bro. We would have been throwing Slurpees and eggs and like anything. Your bird seed to get you covered up all nice after you got wet from the Slurpee. Yeah. Hopefully the seagulls come and get a good pecking at you. I grew up in Jersey, South Jersey, next to the beach. A lot of seagulls. You know, so a prank like that, it lands in a place like Jersey. It's like we would have done way worse than just yelled, fuck the Jews at you. You know, it's harmless, bro. You're sitting here bucking up to a group of 13-year-old boys because of your own insecurities. You're upset. Now, here's the thing. Watch this guy over here. Joey Spaghetti, Frankie Lasagna's son. He goes from having the time of his goddamn life over here. He's all excited. He goes, man, this whole ordeal, this One Bite Pizza review is going to do wonders for our pizza shop. I'm so happy that the kids can be part of this situation. And then 2 seconds later, Dave, what the fuck are you guys laughing at? Now look at the guy. Uh-oh. What do I do now? What do I do now? My hero, the guy I look up to, the guy I'm pretty sure could turn this whole thing around for my pizza shop, really change me and my family's lives. Now I'm torn because I want to like the guy because he's famous, but at the same time, he's bucking up to a group of 13-year-old children, one of which happens to be mine. You know, this is not a good situation. Nobody wants to be in this situation. Look at the way he handles this. What the fuck are you guys laughing at?
There we go. What are you guys fucking laughing about?
Terrible.
Exactly.
Exactly, he says, bro. What the fuck? Exactly. What do you think this is? He's all chipper about that, like as if he just got done bucking up to Nate Diaz or something like that. Exactly. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. You 13-year-old fucking bitches ain't gonna do shit. You sitting over there. 13. Fucking gangly looking ass pussies is all you are. Come at me, bro. Come at me, bro. I'll do a One Bite Pizza review on your fucking mama's puss, bro. Yeah, that's what I thought. Don't even think about it.
What are you guys fucking laughing about?
Terrible.
Exactly. So here we go. One bite. Everybody knows the rules. We won't let that get into what is that Toronto hospitality there?
That's terrible.
Look at
Terrible.
that.
There's old school and then there's no school.
Now here's the funny part. Look at this. So he now he has to review this fucking thing, right? He just got done, and he knows as soon as this got done happening, he knows he made an ass of himself, right? And now he's got to review this goddamn pizza. That's the downside. This didn't happen at the end. It happened in the middle. You still got a whole job to do, my friend. This video ain't over. So now, how you gonna comfortably do this one bite pizza review, knowing you just got done trying to get all tough guy with a group of 13-year-old kids in front of Joey Spaghetti and his father's place, Frankie Lasagna, over at Terrazzo, whatever the fuck this is, right? Now watch this. You see this pizza right here, right? Now, to the untrained eye, this just looks like a regular old slice of pizza. Not to me. Not to me. I'm a pizza connoisseur, man. I've eaten every kind of pizza that you could imagine. I've had them all. I've eaten them on every I've never been out of country, but I've eaten pizza on every continent. I've eaten pizza in Italy. I've eaten pizza in France. I've eaten pizza in Morocco. I've eaten them all. I've eaten any kind of slice. To the untrained eye, this looks like a normal slice of pizza. To a connoisseur like myself, this is garbage. Look at how stiff this fucking slice of pizza is. Now, Dave always talks about the flop, right? He goes, it's got good flop. The pizza's got good flop, and he holds the pizza, and it does this little floppy shit like that. He goes, yeah, look at the flop on the pizza. It's got good flop, right? Now, you don't want your pizza too floppy, right? You don't want your pizza too stiff. This is like a piece of cardboard. This looks like as if the dough was like made, then frozen, and then every time somebody orders a pie, they take the pre-done frozen dough out and then top it with whatever needs to be on it, and then they cook it and send it out. This pizza, you would get probably, honestly, you'd probably get better pizza just going off of the looks of this. You would legitimately probably get better pizza from like a high school cafeteria. I'm not kidding. This is if I went to go pay $150 for this, third period lunch, when I was in 10th grade, I would have flipped the fuck out. I would have been so pissed. But now watch. He just made an ass out of himself. Now he has to rate this cafeteria style pizza, right? What are you going to do? You're going to give it a bad review? Huh? You're going to give it a bad review after you just got done bucking up to these 13-year-old boys? Let's see.
Mentality there.
That's terrible. Terrible. There's old school and then there's no school.
There's no school.
Those aren't Toretto.
So you already know the deal. One bite.
It was good.
8-4.
It's good. You couldn't lie better than that, Dave? It's good. It's good. That was listen to this guy. It's good.
Those aren't Toretto.
It was good.
He's lying.
8-4.
And now you guys got a full Italian menu, right?
Yes.
Because the pasta looked great. Everything looked great.
Look, you could tell the guy don't even fucking want to talk to him. He goes, you got a full Italian menu. Look at the guy's face. Watch.
Italian menu, right?
Yes.
Because
The guy's like, bro, get the fuck. The guy's like, bro, get the fuck out of here, bro. I got to explain to my son why you were being such a big asshole when I get home later. I don't want to talk to you. And then every single one of these kids, they're all posting this to TikTok when they're done.
Pasta looked great. Everything looked great. I'm going to go.
9-1.
These kids don't know the scale at all. They're screaming 9-1. I've given 1-9 since 2023. It was the other day.
Give this one a 9. You just got done punking these fucking kids out. And then you want to talk shit to them. They don't even know the scale of the pizza. Yeah, they weren't expecting to get threatened with your crazy demeanor going in there, bro. The guy goes, fuck the Jews, and then you go and act like the most ruthless Jew this side of Toronto. What are you, nuts?
It was good quality pizza. I'm going to go 7-4 on it. Like it's right in the middle. It's good score.
Human being right
And as we always say,
7-4.
Frankie Lasagna is the real deal.
Frankie Lasagna is the real deal. Let's give it up. Let's get a 7-4 from Mr. Portnoy himself. I want to thank you, Dave, for that. If it wasn't for you, I would have never saw that. Yeah. How this? So now here's my thing, right? If you're willing to talk to a group of 13-year-old dudes like that, how are you willing to talk to everybody else? How are you willing to talk to your employees, for example? Yeah. Right? Look at that. You just got a little taste of it now. we're about to dive into some time codes of Dave. This I'm going to show you just how much this anti-Semitism's getting to him, right? So we talked about the sign, and now we just got done seeing the pizza review, the infamous "fuck the Jews" pizza review itself, right? In real time, we saw this. So in real time. So now this is the unnamed show. We've talked about the unnamed show before. This is with Dave's two buddies, Whitney and Kirk Moynihan. Kirk Minihane, right? So now in this week's installment of the unnamed show, we have Kirk Moynihan having it out with Mr. Dave Portnoy. Kirk wanted to have some character by the name of Mick on his podcast, right? Now, this Mick guy, Dave is not a big fan of. Why is Dave not a big fan of him? I'll tell you if you just give me a second. When Dave had the "fuck the Jews" incident happen and he started posting all these videos, I'm going to ruin the kids' lives, I'm sending the kids to Auschwitz, right? This Mick character that Kirk wants to now have on the show had posted a video or something along those lines where he was kind of like, "Oh, Dave, Mr. Rabbi Portnoy over here, thinking that he's the spokesperson for Jews. These boys make a joke. And now Dave wants to grace the world with his teachings. He wants to take these kids," something along those lines. It's not like verbatim or nothing. I didn't look it up. Okay, I'm just going by what I heard. This is what Kirk told me over the phone. So now Dave, naturally, he didn't like that. He didn't like the fact that there was somebody who didn't agree with him on this situation, right? He didn't want to hear that he was making it a bigger deal than it should be. So when Dave heard that Kirk was going to have this Mick guy on the show, Dave called Kirk and was like, "That's not happening." And Kirk and Dave ended up getting into it. And that's what they're talking about here on the unnamed show. But I want you to pay attention to the points that Kirk makes during this whole thing, because he's speaking a lot of sense. I'm starting to like this Minihane, Kirk Moynihan.
Yes, but how? How do I know who he is? Kirk, how do I know who he is?
Well, he's been on the rundown sheet. We've discussed him by
name.
Kirk,
but how? Why is he being talked about?
I don't know. He's on the rundown.
Let me give you the answer, Kirk.
I didn't do the rundown sheet. I didn't do the rundown sheet.
Let me give you the answer why he's been talked about first. Because he tweeted at me after a clearly everybody is, "Oh, this guy's trash." He took a different angle. Who is Dave Hey, Rabbi Portnoy, who are you to talk about? So spare me that I owe this piece of shit.
I think Rabbi Portnoy was.
Oh, I like that. Look at this. Dave, right away, showing his hand, he's sitting there going, "Yeah, when the "fuck the Jews" sign thing happened, I posted about it. Everyone was on my side, dude. Everyone was on my side. There were so many people out there going, "Who is this guy with the sign? He's fucking trash." Everyone out there, this guy's trash, but not Mick. Not that Mick that you want to have on the show, Mr. Moynihan. Look at this, Mr. Moynihan over here. You want to have Mick on the show. Mick went a different route. Mick didn't agree with me the same way everybody else did. Mick started making jokes. "Oh, Mr. Rabbi Portnoy, who are you to be talking about this?" And Dave and me, I'm speaking as Dave. Dave don't like the fact that somebody online is disagreeing with him over a topic that he takes so near and dear to his heart. Dave makes all sorts of jokes, but for some reason, this Jew stuff, this is off limits. Okay? You can't touch this one.
Tweeted at me after a clearly everybody is, "Oh, this guy's trash." He took a different angle. Who is Dave Hey, Rabbi Portnoy, who are you to talk about? So spare me that I owe this piece of shit.
I think Rabbi Portnoy was a joke. I think that was a joke. I think Rabbi Portnoy was a joke.
You just don't get it, Kirk. You
just don't get it.
How many of these?
Dave's like a fucking girl. You just don't get it. You hit him with like one rational thought, and you just don't get it. You just don't get it. You're never gonna understand where I'm coming from. Okay? But babe, it was just a joke. You just don't get it. Dave's like a fucking bitch right now. He's legitimate. Look at his face. Kirk hits him with, "Oh shit, I'm spitting, dude. This has me laughing so hard." So Kirk hits Dave with that. He goes, yo, the dude was joking, bro. Dave, it almost ruins Dave's whole day. You just don't get it, Kirk. You just don't get it, do you?
By Portnoy was a joke.
You just don't get it, Kirk. You just don't get it. How many of these jokes? I get them all day, and they all sound like Mick. So how many of these jokes while people are getting murdered in the streets?
Okay, well, you made a joke about people wearing jeans and getting raped, and then people were raped after that.
That is...
What the fuck? Oh, shit! Wait a minute, what? Look, Kirk making, this is what I was saying. This is why I wanted you to pay attention to the points that Kirk makes when he's going through this confrontation with Mr. Portnoy here. And Dave's face, look at him. He knows he's caught, bro. That's a bad look right there. I don't know exactly what incident in particular they're talking about, but apparently Kirk knows his stuff. He's been working for Barstool for quite some time. Good friends with Mr. Portnoy over here. Mr. Pizza Review. Davey Pizza. That's what I'm going to start calling Dave from now on. So Dave Pizza, he knows that he's caught. Because Kirk's like, bro, there was a girl that got raped that one time. You were making rape jokes like while it was currently happening. Like everyone's talking about it online. You're making rape jokes that week, bro. Like, what are you talking about? What are we talking about? Dave over here. Oh, it's not even the same thing. This is Davey Pizzas.
Mick, so how many of these jokes while people are getting murdered in the streets?
Okay, well, you made a joke about people wearing jeans and getting raped, and then people were raped after that.
That is
I wouldn't blame you for that. That's insane to make that comparison.
If you are doing that, no.
Look, if you are doing that, is Dave squirming over here. Good old Kirk. Kirk Moynihan. I was serious. I think I might start watching the Kirk Minihane show off of this. Because look, this is not just, it's not the end of it. This Kirk just keeps coming back with the points. It starts getting heated up too. Watch this.
Great. It's a fucking troll in your mind. Have them on and fucking have the conversation.
Why would I give this guy air to breathe?
I think after 5 minutes, you'd say, all right, this guy is not actually anti-Semitic. I think.
Look at, hold up. Let's go back a little bit. This is so funny. Watch. As we watch this, I want you to pay attention to Whitney.
86, 12.
You don't see what's going on in the world right now.
No, I do see what's going on in the world. I'm saying,
how do you defend this guy?
Tweeting Rabbi Portnoy at you, to me,
after fuck the Jews.
Look at Whitney.
Great. It's a fucking troll in your mind. Have them on and fucking have the
Whitney's
conversation.
dead
Why would
inside.
I give this guy air to breathe?
I think after 5 minutes, you'd say, all right, this guy is not actually anti-Semitic.
Look, Whitney is dead inside, bro. Whitney doesn't care, and these guys are the fucking most passionate they've ever been on this show ever. And these things are live, like live. So these guys are having it out. Like, there's no cutting this. There's no editing this. Whitney's just sitting there, like, daydreaming. He's like, I wonder what's happening in hockey right now.
Semitic, I think, but we'll never find out. We'll never find out.
Why do I care to give this guy a
you do
second?
Care. You do care. Obviously,
no, you want him on the show. By the way, this came about because I got a text yesterday at 4 p.m. Kirk is going to have this kid. No one, I don't even, if he walked by me, I wouldn't know what he looked like. Kirk's going to have him on the show. Austin said, if you don't put him in, Kirk's walking out.
Whitney over here. Did I leave the oven on? I think I might. I should probably send my wife a text to see if I left the oven on. Maybe I could ask her to check the scores for me. You know? Yeah. Hey Siri, set a reminder for me to text my wife. Check to see if I left the oven on. And then these guys over here. Jesus.
I said, Kirk, are you going to do that?
No, I said no, which is what I said today. I'd rather have it out with you here, which I said you on the phone yesterday, and have the conversation.
No, I wasn't mad at you, but you don't get the issue. And honestly, if you're sitting here right here.
And honestly, I get the issue. I don't get it as well as you do. You're more passionate about it than I am. I understand that.
Oh, I'm sorry. My Jews are getting killed every 3 seconds.
My Jews are getting killed every 3 seconds over here, bro. What, do you live in Gaza now? Bro, chill, man. It ain't like that. Here's the thing. This is what people really, like, in all seriousness, this is what people really have to understand about stuff like this. Dave happened to hear or see like a couple headlines having to do with something happening with Jews and hate crimes in America, and now all of a sudden he thinks that the whole country's like that. Trust me, it ain't, bro. The news harps on the negative stuff happening in the world. If they hear that people are starting to get, touchy about the Israel-Palestine conflict and how Trump is starting to allocate money towards Israel and their defense budget, but, they start hearing stuff like that, the news is going to start picking up all the Jew stuff that they possibly can, and that's why it seems like it's happening more. It's probably happening at the same rate that it's always been happening. We don't live in a perfect world where hate crimes and bigotry don't exist. That's not the world we live in. They exist. And quite frankly, as far as I see it, they're probably always going to exist because there's always going to be some sort of evil person out there who's going to be willing to do something like that. Going to be. You notice I said that like 6 times in 2 sentences? So, with that being said, hate crimes, they're not going away, bro. But there aren't as many as there used to be. We are progressing as a world, as a society, There's always going to be those ignorant ones out of us that happen to stand out in the negative sphere. And when the news catches wind of that stuff, whatever narrative is going on in the zeitgeist, they're going to start finding negative shit that happens to do with that narrative or is adjacent to it to put on the news cycle. I mean, it's an easy thing to figure out if you just zoomed out a little bit. Dave, this isn't fucking rocket science. So he's sitting there going, well, my Jews are getting killed every fucking 3 seconds. They're not, bro. Jews in America aren't getting killed any more than they have been in the past X amount of years. It's just you're now looking for it. You're looking for it, so you're gonna find it. You could look for anything, If I told you to look for a certain color thing in here, you would find it. If you looked hard enough, you would find it. Right? Find the color green. Fuck you. Listen to Dave with his double standards.
More passionate about than I am. I understand that.
Oh, I'm sorry. My Jews are getting killed every 3 seconds.
That's not a criticism. That's not a criticism.
You're demented then.
I just said it's not a criticism. I understand why you're sensitive about it. Of course you care about it more than I do.
Kirk,
you care about it more
acting
than I
like
do.
right now people making Jew jokes is just the same as 15 years ago.
No, but my thing is when you tell people stop making jokes, stop doing this, what does that accomplish? That's not the core. That's not the core of the issue. It's not Mick or some other guy tweeting that you're a Jew. That's not the core issue here. That's not why somebody's going.
It's all related.
Then we should just stop making fucking jokes about anything, and then nothing will happen. Stop making rape jokes. Stop making jokes about this. Stop making jokes about Catholicism, about priests raping kids, which is people made during that scandal.
Kirk, that is an excellent point, Kirk. That is an excellent point. As a matter of fact, I don't think I could have said that point any better myself. That's the thing. Dave is being a hypocrite here. Because here's the way I view it, at least, in situations like this. If you want to get all like righteous, social justice, warrior, whatever you want to call it, about any kind of jokes, whether they be towards women, children, a certain race, a certain religion, whatever type of protected group you can think of, jokes about the rainforest in Puerto Rico, it's like any types of like jokes like that. If you want to get, politically correct about one of them, you have to go across the board with that kind of stuff. You can't just cherry pick which one is your favorite flavor of the week and go, this one we can't joke about now. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Somebody, there was a hate crime about Jews somewhere in Chicago, had nothing to do with my life. The Jews are getting killed out in Gaza, country that I'm nowhere near, have no connections to. Aside the fact that my family shares the same religion as those people. Me, Davey Portnoy, I'm calling it right now. Jews, off limits. You cannot make jokes about them. Sorry, Jews are off limits. What's the worst thing I could say? You could say a lot. If it's about Jews, the worst thing you could say is a lot. You could say a lot of bad shit, and from now on, all of it is off the table. You can't do it. And Kirk is making a very good point here. He's like, you're having a double standard because every single time that there's a scandal, something happening out there, we're always making fun of it. That's what we do. He even said we shouldn't make priest jokes about raping kids, touching kids, which we joked about when that scandal was going on. This is Dave. This is double standard Davey Pizzas. That's a triple DP, double standard Davey Pizzas over here. Now watch this. This argument with Kirk, it keeps getting more and more ramped up. And they're very comfortable with each other. Like, these guys are like friends outside of work too. I would imagine. Because like, I've watched an episode of the Unnamed Show where they were arguing. Kirk straight up told Dave to suck his dick on air. And they were like, obviously they weren't being like totally serious, but they seemed pretty serious in the moment. And I'll tell you right now, none of Dave's other employees are going to ever tell him to suck their dick on air, okay? So these two are very comfortable with each other. They don't have a problem having it out on air. That being said, you have to draw the line of dignity somewhere, right? And you're going to watch Dave habitually overstep that line in just a little bit. Watch this.
Kicked out. So, but my thing is,
no,
like,
it's not just kick out, Kirk. Are you ignoring what's going on in the world?
No,
right
I'm
now?
not. What, Dave? What do you want to do to those guys? What do you want to do?
It's related?
What do you want to do with those guys in the bar? Put them in jail for 50 years?
Kirk,
fine. I don't care.
I didn't
they're
say
assholes.
that. You're quite literally changing everything you say, Kirk. If you just want me to kick him out, not mention it, not care that this kid is anti-Semitic, shut up. If you just want me to ignore it,
don't tell me to shut up.
Oh, now here's where this is two big men trying to flex their nuts at each other, you know? This is like when you see two bears, those videos of two bears out in the woods, and they're starting to, like, you know, tread their feet. And they're going, rrr, rrr. You know, Joe Rogan, he goes, rah, rah, into the microphone. You know how Joe Rogan does his bear impression? He goes, rah, you know? And the bears are doing that. They're getting ready to fight. This is what they would be saying to each other if you could understand them. They'd be going, hey, you, shut the fuck up. And the other bear would be going, he'd be going, don't tell me to shut the fuck up. And then this is the time. Look at Dave's face. Dave is the bear. Dave's on the attack. Dave's got blood. He smells blood. And trust me, with a schnoz like that, he could smell it from a mile away. He smells blood right now. There's blood in the water. Dave's ready to strike off of that. He goes, don't tell me to shut up. Dave's about to be like, or what, bitch? Watch this.
Don't
shut the fuck up, you bald fuck.
Okay, go ahead.
How's that?
Oh, it's kill. I'll never recover from that, Dave. Go ahead, continue. I'll never recover.
Well, you're the one who, like, oh, big boss man, don't tell. I'll tell you, you work for me.
Okay, go ahead, continue.
You little bitch, you work for me.
Sure.
Ooh, you work for me, motherfucker.
You were the clock that was ticking in my home. Change my state of mind.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Love's so hard to find.
We got him. Look at Dave over here. Is this the kind of boss that you want to have? They better be paying top dollar over at Barstool, bro. Because I'm telling you right now, any job, I could, if I'm working for somebody else, and I get that, you work for me, you little bitch. That's HR. I'm filing a lawsuit like that. You can't just talk to me like that. You can't just talk to people like this at work, bro. On the job, if you will. Like, that's not how these things work. And then these guys, like Dave will try to like sugarcoat situations like this, or like sweep them under the rug by going like, we're a media company, we do content. Like, that's the name of the game. People eat up controversy. So like this comes with the job. You have to take that if you work here. And then the second that there are some concerns over a kid show named Mr. Jerry in regards to the fact that your biggest sponsor is a gambling company called DraftKings, then all of a sudden HR plays a huge component in everything, right? But then this shit happens. You don't hear a peep from HR over at Barstool. They just, hey, man, we're a media company. That's just the way it goes, you know? What happens if Kirk Moynihan goes out into the hallway and just starts grabbing girls' asses and tits, right? What happens then? And then all the girls start getting pissed off. He goes, whoa, 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 this is a skit. This is for content. You know? If you don't like it, you don't have to work at Barstool. You can't just do whatever the fuck you want and then try to put a Band-Aid on it by going, this is a media company. This is just how it works over here. Like, that's not how that works. You don't just get to talk to your fucking employees however you want and think that the shit is sweet. Let's watch this one more time because Dave got roasted for this online. People took this and ran with it hard as hell. They go, Dave treats his employees like shit over at Barstool. People are putting up clips of past things that Dave's done. Dave will embarrass his employees any chance he gets. Any chance he gets. And I like Dave. I love Dave. I'm telling you that right now. This is not my campaign against Dave. You got to call a spade a spade. When you're acting like a bitch, people are going to call you out for acting like a bitch. I mean, that's just the way it goes, right? And this guy is acting like a bitch, especially for a guy who has no problem dishing it out the way that he does on a constant basis with his employees. Now watch this. Watch how he does this before we end this part.
Changing everything you say, Kirk. If you just want me to kick him out, not mention it, not care that this kid is anti-Semitic, shut up. If you just want me to ignore it,
don't tell me to shut up. Don't tell me.
Shut the fuck up, you bald fuck.
Okay, go ahead.
How's that?
Oh, it's kill. I'll never recover from that, Dave. Go ahead, continue. I'll never recover.
Well, you're the one who big boss man. Don't tell. I'll tell you work for me.
Okay, go ahead, continue.
You little bitch, you work for me.
Sure, you bet.
Ooh.
For now,
you
continue.
don't? For now, quit. I don't care. Is 500 grand.
Is this show or not a show? Like, is this a show or not a show? Like, we can't have a conversation.
Watch. This is the boiling point.
You're an idiot.
Okay, continue.
You're literally saying people should be allowed to make Jew jokes, say whatever they want right fucking now.
Yes, I think people should be allowed to make jokes.
So how many motherfucking Jews have to be killed before you stop?
I don't think.
What else? Where else is that happening with the religion or people?
Oh, God. Fucking cry me a river, dude. So give it up, Mr. Portnoy. This guy, you talk to him about working at his company, he'll be like, yo, we pay the best. Like, we're a great place to work. You know what I mean? You might have to pay me, like, a lot of goddamn money to put up with some talk like that. And, I mean, he just said he's paying Kirk $500,000. He literally told Kirk, like, go ahead, quit. It saved me $500,000. Maybe you do put up with that for $500,000. That's a lot of money. That's a good amount of money. And then that's just base salary, right? Like, Kirk's got to be making, something off the sponsorships, whatever merch is getting sold, different things that he does, different events that he's getting paid for. Barstool's always doing, like, competition-style shit, Kirk's got it made in the shade, and you might feel bad for him. A lot of people online certainly were, right? They were going, yo, Dave, who the fuck are you to be talking to your employees like that? So what if Kirk's an asshole? You still can't talk to him like that. Now, normally, Dave would respond back by going like, I'm not an asshole. I'm the nicest guy, bro. Like, you guys don't even know what I did for family-owned businesses during the pandemic. I'm like the nicest guy, bro. I gave like 5 pizza places $30,000. It really got them through that whole 2 years that we were in COVID. Without me, they would have crumbled. I'm the nicest guy out here in media, in sports media, at least. ESPN's not doing the same stuff I'm doing. Dave tries to, that would normally be Dave's response. He would go, I'm a good guy. You guys just saw we're a media company. That's just how we do things, but I'm a good guy. This time, he took a different approach. Rather than trying to defend himself, right? Or even doing the adult thing and apologizing for what his fans are so upset with him about. No. Instead of doing either of those, he goes and posts this clip on Twitter. Now, what is this clip of? This is a clip of Kirk Moynihan talking to his employees the same way Dave was talking to him. Probably even worse, dude. So that's Dave's response to this. Instead of trying to defend himself, instead of apologizing like a normal adult, Dave's response to this is to throw Kirk Moynihan under the bus. Watch this.
Fucking bitch. Like a fucking baby. That's what you are. You're a fucking baby who's never lived a life. You go around in your fucking pool in little circles and let your dad raise you and your grandfather raise you. You won't live a real life. You're a fucking baby. Look, you yelled at me earlier this week, so shut your fucking mouth.
Okay.
You work for me, fat boy.
Correct.
You work for me.
Oh.
So you fuck up like that, and I give you a fucking pass. That's way bigger fucking loyalty than something with Mick or something with your pretend girlfriend or any of that bullshit. So you should look at the real stuff.
Look, I don't remember Dave calling him. Well, Dave did call Kirk a bald bitch. Okay, so we're keeping that same energy. Maybe that's why Kirk kind of just shut the fuck up and took it, because Kirk probably, he's like, I do this shit all the time. Look at this guy. Calls him a fat. He goes, you yelled at me last week, you fat fuck. Kirk, dude, when Kirk yells, it's funny. Listen to this.
You fuck up like that, and I give you a fucking pass. That's way bigger fucking loyalty than something with Mick or something with your pretend girlfriend or any of that bullshit. So you should look at the real stuff and not the fake stuff. Instead of that, and act like a pouty fucking baby all week. You're a fucking complete zero to me. You're fucking dead to me. You can sit there and your fat ass in there until you fucking die and act like, oh, Kirk's to me. But fuck you. Fuck you. That could have fucked us, and you did it on purpose. I don't agree with you. You're a fucking liar, too. You're a fucking liar.
Not a liar.
You're a fucking liar. You did.
Ooh, look at that. This is where Fat Boy's starting to fuck up. Look at Fat Boy over here. Someone please call 911. Here's the thing. In situations like this, especially with guys that have such fragile egos, like my man Moynihan over here. When you start to hear them simmer down, like he was starting to simmer down. Just like a pot of good chili, he was starting to simmer down. You know? His heat was on low, and you just got to let that fizzle out. You know? He would have went out eventually. But no. You had to open your fat fucking mouth. Look at you. Look at you. Now you're regretting your goddamn decision over here to defend yourself. You should have defended yourself in the beginning. Not when he's starting to wind down. Now you got him all fucking wound back up again. Look, as soon as you hear Kirk starting to simmer down from yelling, now this guy wants to answer him back. Now he wants to talk shit.
Kirk's to me, but fuck you. Fuck you. That could have fucked us, and you did it on purpose. I don't agree with you. You're a fucking liar, too. You're a fucking liar.
Not a liar.
You're a fucking liar. You did that on purpose to try and fuck me over. And I still kept you on the fucking job. So you should say thank you every fucking time you look at me. Do you understand me?
Oh, look, I love the way Kirk yells. He goes, you really fucked me. And you should be thanking me every time. And you fucking and you fuck me. Kirk over here. This is way worse than Dave. I'm not going to lie. Dave is fucked up for this, bro. Think about that. Think about being friends with Dave. You get into an argument with him. He embarrasses you live. Not on recording. Live. In front of everyone. By telling you, shut the fuck up. You work for him. You're a little bitch. What, you gonna quit? Oh, blah, blah, blah. He fucking does all that, throws it all in your face. And then when everybody jumps on his back, he jumps on yours. Again. And this is a rough look for Mr. Moynihan, dude. Listen to the way he yells.
Complete zero to me. You're fucking dead to me. You can sit there and your fat ass in there until you fucking die and act like, oh, Kirk's to me. But fuck you. Fuck you. That could have fucked us, and you did it on purpose. I don't agree with you. You're a fucking liar, too. You're a fucking liar.
Not a liar.
You're a fucking liar. You did that on purpose to try and fuck me over. And I still kept you on the fucking job. So you should say thank you every fucking time you look at me. Do you understand me?
Sure.
What?
Thank you.
Yeah, so shut your fucking mouth.
That was embarrassing, bro. To make him double down on that, the guy goes, sure. And he goes, sure what? Thank you. Kirk's really fucking stepping on the back of this dude's neck right now. This is rough.
Okay. Do you understand me?
Yes.
Okay? I've been taking all week from you for no fucking reason.
Oh, no reason.
None.
Reason.
Shut your fucking mouth. You'll be fucking fired. Shut your fucking mouth.
Ooh.
Shut your fucking mouth.
Fire me then.
Shut your fucking mouth.
Fire me then.
You want to be fired? Would you like that? Would you like that?
No, I do
then
not.
Shut the fuck up.
Well, I'm
then
not
shut
shutting.
the fuck up.
I'm on the show.
Shut the
so
fuck
fire
up.
me then.
Then shut the fuck up.
I'm not.
When you do this thing.
Oh, now you see Kirk softening up. See, Kirk is all fucking bark, bro. This is what it is with these Barstool guys. They're all fucking pussies, dude. If I was in either end of that situation, I would have went the whole way with the shit. If I was Kirk, I would have said, shut the fuck up or you're fired. The guy would have said one word. I would have been, pack your shit, you're gone. Later. Crumble the contract, maestro. We'll get another fat boy in here. Same if I was on the opposite end. Like, here, if you get talked to like that at work, dude, you have to quit. You have to quit. Like, and this is why. It's not even like a pride thing at that point. It's not even like you want to be like, oh, I'm going to keep it real and I'm going to quit because ain't nobody going to talk to me like that. It's not even like that. You have to quit because, like, when you show back up to work the next day, that changes the entire dynamic between you and your boss. Like, you will never be able to look at that person the same again. You're either going to be, depending on the type of person you are, you're either going to be super scared of that person or you're going to fucking hate them. And it's that hatred's going to grow. You know what I mean? And if you're scared of them, that fear is going to grow. It will never work on the long term after that. There's a certain like door that you just don't open with professional people. And once it gets open, like I said, the dynamic changes. That's it, dude. You cannot show back up to work like Kirk will treat you like this for the rest of the time that you work for him. Why? Because you let him right now.
That thing was on purpose.
It was not on purpose. It was not on purpose.
Look at that. Let's give it up. Good old Portnoy, man. How do you do that? That's your response to fucking to make the to just out your friend like that. Kirk Moynihan, bro. That's rough as hell, dude. So that was a segment called Finger on the Pulse, and that was us keeping our finger on the pulsey. The pulsey, you get it? So let's go into the next segment. This one's called Your Favorite Podcast Sucks. In this segment, we're going to go over Bert Kreischer and Tom Segra, right, on Two Bears, One Cave. This is great. Oh, of course, somehow got the wrong time code for that. See, this is the thing right here, man. Sometimes my time codes get messed up, and then I sit here and I panic, bro. You guys have no idea. Like, you think like, oh, man, he's just keeping it cool, bro. Like, nah, dude. I get on here, like, when something like this is happening, a time code's wrong, I have to, like, do some, like, improv shit to kind of, like, fix the show. I start bugging out on the inside. Like, right now, I'm sweating. I'm practically sweating. So, we have these clips right here from an episode of Two Bears, One Cave. This is, look, we're still on Barstool. This is going to be a good old Tom Segra and Bert Kreischer, right? They had a Port Osos, their vodka Port Osos for the Bears. They had like a Port Osos like bar event, bar crawl, something weird. I don't know. And that was in Chicago. They had to record an episode of Two Bears. They do it over at Barstool. See, we're still over at Barstool, bro. This is insanity. You know? Where's Dave Portnoy right now with these two? He should be speaking about anti-Semitism and the whole nine. But anyway, these guys are over here at Barstool, and we got some very interesting time codes from them. Let's check out this one. This is Bert's sweaty asshole. Why are you bringing this up in the middle of the podcast, Bert?
Are those linen pants?
Yeah, I'm switching to linen.
It's good for summer.
Except my asshole sweats, and so I have an ass sweat stain in my.
What the fuck? Look at this guy. My asshole sweats. It makes a stain in my pants. So I'm switching to linen.
Except my asshole sweats, and so I have an ass sweat stain in my asshole. So like if I sit down for too long,
yeah,
you just see like a wet mark.
Dude,
it's real sexy.
That is. I have shit.
That's real sexy. Bro, this is crazy, man. There's not too much to this time code. I just have to, like, every time I hear Bert say something about himself like this, I'm like, let's blast it out in the airwaves. Like, you should be telling everybody you know. Like, if If I knew somebody and they came up to me and they were like, yo, I got tickets to go see Bert Kreischer, the first words that would come out of my mouth, I'd go, you know, he switched over to linen pants because, like, when he sits down, his sweaty ass ends up leaving a stain in his pants and the seat that he's sitting on. I heard him say it on a podcast. Just figured you know that. That's the kind of guy that you're going to see. You know, in case you were wondering. You know, that's the guy you look up to. This is him. Mr. Sweaty Asshole. This is crazy.
Yeah.
You just see like a wet mark.
Dude.
It's real sexy.
It is. I've shit so aggressively today.
Oh, I haven't shit yet.
Oh my God. I have nothing but.
And this is Tom. Always. Give it up for Tom. Everything Tom is like worse than like Amy Schumer. It's ridiculous. Like male comedians, they'll make fun of female comedians. Amy Schumer in particular. That's why I brought her up as an example. And they'll go, oh, all their comedy is like pussy jokes and like, oh, I'm a slut and like sex jokes and stuff like that. Tom is like the same thing. If it's not like his dick or shit, it's like he has no act. It all has to do with poo-poo jokes and pee-pee jokes. That's all it is. And getting on Tom, look at this. This was an interesting time code. Let's listen to Tom talk about his newest addiction.
And then I got back to my room and I fucking smoked DMT. I hit the DMT.
What is it with you and DMT these days?
It's the best fucking vape pen I've ever had in my life.
But you disappear.
Dude, I was fully hallucinating last night. Like, out of my mind.
Dude, Tom sounds like one of those kids in high school that you would see at a party that did no drugs. And you go up to them, you're like, yo, man, how you doing tonight? And they're like, dude, I took so much acid. I'm like fully hallucinating right now. Like, I'm seeing the craziest stuff. The kid's like sober. You ever go to a party like that? Or you see somebody acting drunk, and there's a video actually of a girl. It's actually a pretty funny video. This girl acting drunk, and her friends go and give her water, and they go, hey, we're going to take another shot of vodka. And she goes, oh, yeah. And she takes it. And she goes, that was some good shit. I'm so wasted. And then her friends are like, oh, yeah, you're wasted because, like, we've been giving you water for, like, the past half an hour. And she's like, you bitch. Like, it's like that. That's what Tom sounds like. He sounds like a poser when he says this. Dude, I was, like, fully hallucinating, bro. It was, like, so crazy. This guy is, like, are you addicted? Can you be addicted? Like, because I originally brought this time code up to be like, yo, I think Tom is going to be, like, addicted to this DMT vape pen that he's talking about. Because he's like Bert is even like, bro, you just disappear and start smoking on that pen. It's like, we can't even find you half the time. So, like, that's why I brought this up. But I'm like, now hearing the way he talks about it, I'm like, there's no way he's actually doing it. You know, he sounds like somebody who's never done drugs a day in his life. I was like fully hallucinating. You sound like a bitch. So it's like, can you be addicted? Like, you can't be addicted if you're not actually doing it, if you're faking it, you know? Listen to this, talking about this DMT pen again. This is wild.
I tore my ACL, and you're like, wait. I go, I'm just kidding. But I go, with me, you probably believe it. And you're like, yeah. And then this morning, I was like, I think I did tear my ACL. Fuck. I would be so mad if I did. And then I got back to my room, and I fucking smoked DMT. I hit the DMT.
What is it with you and DMT these days?
It's the best fucking vape pen I've ever had in my life.
That's when you know it's bad, when a fat alcoholic like Bert is red, literally red, because the alcohol he's drinking is like fucking his blood pressure up. And that guy is going like, what is with you and this fucking pen, dude? Like, I'm starting to worry about you a little bit.
Beer.
Dude, I was fully hallucinating last night. Like, out of my mind.
Wait, how did you get a DMT vape pen?
Just cool guy.
Wait, how does... I want to know the breakdown of this.
I've been given a few.
You've been smoking DMT more than I think you're supposed to smoke DMT. Doing DMT is like anal sex. You're supposed to do it once a year.
Yeah, until you find out it's the only way you come. And then you go...
Hey, yo, what the fuck? This guy... Yo, the time codes are like riding a little longer than normal. Normally, the end of that time code just stops off. You don't hear the music like that. Look at this guy. Tom Segra. is now saying that the only way he can come to completion in his sexual endeavors is by smoking on this DMT pen. That's not good, bro. Like, if you're serious about that, that's not good. For you to be like, I need, like, a drug to, like, finish. You know what I mean? Especially, like, Tom is, like, what, 45? You know what I mean? I know he looks like he's, like, 65, but he's still in his 40s. This guy is, you should be fine. Especially with Christina. I'm not saying Christina's hot, but, like, she's like, obsessed with this guy. So you know that she's a giver. She'll do anything to make this guy get off. You know, she's obsessed with him. And that's the only way this guy can finish off the DMT pen. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. And give it up for Tom. Make sure you tell that to every single person that you know. Okay? That's the point of this show. You're supposed to take what you hear here and then spread it like rumors. You know what I mean? And if you don't do that, it's kind of like, what's the point? You know what I mean? It's like the whole point of this is to spread it around. Think of yourself as kids in in recess, and we're all making fun of these dorks over on the other side of the playground. You know, that's just the way it is. Now watch this. This was a good time code. I thought this was funny. Like I said to you earlier, these guys are over at the Barstool office in Chicago. And the one thing I will give Dave is, like, these offices, he lets these guys have fun in these places. Like, they got, like, ice cream machines and bars and snack bars and golf simulated, basketball courts, mini golf. They got all these different things happening over at Barstool. And you think people would just clock in to work. It's like a sports version of Google. You know what I mean? There's all this crazy shit over there. Now, Bert hears about this. When he sees this, when he walks in to go do this podcast over there, he starts getting jealous. He's like, Tom, why isn't your studio like this? I know my studio's not like this, but, like, what the fuck? We should have studios like this. Like, this is bullshit. But when you hear the way Bert tears apart Tom's studio, this just brought a smile to my face. Listen to this.
Like, it's just you.
Do you look at this, Tom, and do you go, this is what YMH could be?
This place?
Because have you ever been to Tom's studio?
No, I haven't.
But it looks a lot like an abortion clinic. Like, it looks like people just, when they walk out, no one's smiling. They're like, ooh, ooh.
Ooh, imagine that. Imagine you have a podcast, and every time your guest leaves, they look like they just literally got a baby yanked out of their body. That's a food for thought right there.
This place is, I mean, the one rule I made, too, of this place, like, everyone has to show up. Everyone has to show up to work. Because, like, there's a lot of times where you don't, you know, like, if you're blogging or you come and do your podcast and you leave, I was like, everyone has to show up because the magic
Can you cut to my face? Cut to my fucking face? Hey, guys at Birdie Boy Entertainment. Huh?
Yeah.
Look at Bert, man. This motherfucker, listen to it. Bert legitimately doesn't like the fact that, like, if you were an editor or, like, a producer, you could do, like, 90% of the job from home when there's, like, not a recording day. That's like, it's mind-boggling to Bert. Bert's like, no, you have to come to my house and let me bother you the whole time. I'm going to be drunk. My dogs are going to be running around. My wife is going to be sitting there yapping like a fucking southern pooch. You know? And you have to put up with all that every day. And this upsets Bert. Like, it really does. He probably, like, his employees are probably like, dude, we got to work from home so we can actually get shit done, bro. Like, you're killing us. You get drunk all day. You just bother us the whole time.
Like, if you're blogging or you come and do your podcast and you leave, I was like, everyone has to show up because the magic
Can you cut to my face? Cut to my fucking face? Hey, guys at Birdie Boy Entertainment. Huh?
Yeah.
The fuck work from home? You know what work from home means? You know what work from home means?
very-
I'm not working today.
Yeah.
I know you're not allowed to say this. HR. This
No,
is
I
fucking
know.
bullshit. You show up to work because being there is the fucking creative
Well,
part.
especially in our line of work, like you can't do it on Zoom.
No, you can't. It
You
sucks.
just can't.
Zoom sucks, dude.
You have to be in the mix together. That's where the magic happens. So I'm getting it's
Look at how upset Bert is about that. He's like, why do I let my guys work from home? Bro, you work with like 4 girls. It's like, why would you even want them there all the time? I'd be like, get out of here. They're all like acting like assholes to you at work because they're all synced up with their periods and shit. Sounds like a nightmare.
Too bad you guys came now. If you came a week later, I just bought a industrial soft serve ice cream machine.
Dude.
So
we're gonna upgrade some shit.
That's my dream.
I think we have some fun at our dude. We have come on. What are you talking about?
No, it's cool. It's like
look at Tom trying to lie now. Tom goes, yeah, we're gonna do the same thing. We have money too. Like I know you guys have money, but we also have money. You know, this is Tom doing his like Tom thinks he's like Dana White. He's like, I got money too, bro. Like, don't worry, I got money to burn. We're gonna upgrade our whole facility. Next time you come back, there's gonna be a roller coaster in the middle of the podcast studio. We're gonna be talking. She's gonna see the roller coaster go by. Everybody's gonna be all chilling, bro. It's gonna be gelatos and cappuccinos all over the place. We have machines for every type of drink.
Going to the dentist.
It's not like going to the
dentist. You walk
dentist.
in scared and you leave going,
Is it
thank
like
God I'm
going to the
leaving.
dentist?
No, it's.
Can you throw a ball around?
No.
Well, first of all, we don't have the size.
Well, I'm
place
just
you have.
asking. Can you? If I came to your office, I was like, Tom, let's have a catch.
Well, where?
Yeah, we could.
Where? No,
Yes,
where?
you could.
Where? No, you
All right,
couldn't.
I
Yes,
want
you
to do
could.
that.
Look at Bert. Dude, Bert's blowing Tom's whole shit up. Tom's studio, you can't even throw a football in there. Now, mind you, we haven't hit YMH levels yet. You know what I mean? This is like a room in my house. So you can't throw a football in here either. But if I had a studio, like a whole warehouse, right? You better believe, bro, I'd be having full-on football games in that bitch. Tackle in the middle of the facility.
For Annie's head?
No.
Would we break something
when you
if
walk
we
from
had
the
a catch?
front into the listen to me.
No.
When you walk into like the studio,
I would like to see a video of you having a catch.
You know what I'm gonna do?
Yeah.
As soon as I fucking get back,
Yes.
I'm playing catch and I'm sending you the video.
No. He is. Tom is. They call them liars.
Ooh. Tom is what we call a liar.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Look at Bert. I like that, Bert. Expose him. Expose him. He's a liar. He didn't put you in bad thoughts. Think about that. Bert is Tom's best friend. And I didn't see Bert once in Tom's 6-part episodic series called Bad Thoughts on Netflix. Didn't see Bert not a once. Like, legit, dude, I'm not even kidding. Not even a cameo, bro. I didn't even see Bert for a cameo. Think about it. That's fucked, bro. Like, if I don't know, that's crazy to me. See, my best friend isn't into any of this stuff, right? If she was, she'd be part of the show. It'd be like, why not? Like, we're both like hanging out, right? It's like, well, why not just be part of the thing? Like, if I was a comedian and I had my own show and my best friend was a comedian and she didn't have her own show, I'd put her on it. That's just what you do. Tom didn't even do that for Bert. So Bert's probably using this as an opportunity. Bert's like, fuck you, you should have put me in Bad Friends. Listen to this, Big Cat. His studio, it sucks.
You know what I'm gonna do?
Yeah.
As soon as I fucking get back,
Yes.
I'm playing catch and I'm sending you the video.
No. He is. Tom is. They call them liars. Tom, if you go in, Tom has. I'm gonna really break apart your studio. First of all, you can't walk in the door like you could here. No, you can't walk in the door. You got to go.
It's called security, man.
We have security
and
guards.
then a twink comes out. What's his name?
Tanner?
Tanner comes out and he's
Poor
like,
Tanner.
oh hey, cool. And you're like, hey, is Tom here yet? No, he's running late. You want coffee? Reed's got your coffee. And you're like, cool, Tanner. And then all the branding is so that you know Tom isn't racist. It's just black people painted everywhere. Like it is. What is it? Kobe Bryant? He's never watched a fucking Lakers game in his life. He's got a mural of Kobe Bryant.
Look at Tom. Dude, Tom knows that this is true. Look at Tom going through this. Watch this.
And then
is
all
great.
the branding is so that you know Tom isn't racist. It's just black people painted everywhere. Like it is. What
Look
is
at
it? Kobe
Tom.
Bryant? He's never watched a fucking Lakers game in his life. He's got a mural of Kobe Bryant in the fucking studio. And then
Look at that. Tom is like the high school kid getting exposed. This is every high school kid who lied about having a girlfriend in a different town. This is their worst nightmare. This is that girl from that town that you talked about showing up to a party that you're at. Everybody at the party, whoa, why aren't you talking to her? I thought she was your girlfriend, bro. What happened? I thought she was your girlfriend. You didn't lie about that, did you? You didn't just lie to everybody, did you? Look at Tom. Scared out of his mind. And this mural, like, what does that say, dude? Tom don't give a fuck about not a one person on that goddamn wall. Bert could not have hit that nail harder on the fucking head. Because that's exactly what that is. Tom, when BLM happened, Tom was like, we got to get somebody in here right away to paint a mural. Like, I need all of my guests to know that I care about Black lives and that they matter to me. Yeah. And he just hasn't got it repainted yet. Because Tom's a cheap bitch. All he cares about is his own money and his Netflix series. He wants to make movies.
Fucking Lakers game is like, he's got a mural of Kobe Bryant in the fucking studio. And then some Latina chicks, right? Dude. It's like Tom grew up in LA as a cholo. And then everyone's scared. You ever go into a rescue? Everyone's scared. You walk into a rescue place where they rescue puppies and the puppy's like, "Arr, arr." That's Annie. Then you see Chad. Zolo's like, I don't want to touch. That's the whole fucking place.
Is
and Ryan's place,
no.
Ryan's is right by the door.
Sounds pretty true.
I mean, there's a guy, he works there too. Ask him.
But he's right by the door so we can leave and you can get drinks in his office.
Ryan, could we have a catch?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Where the fuck would you have it? I cannot
Actually,
believe.
multiple places.
Oh, wow. We're got multiple
I'm going to send you a
catches
supercut
going.
of like all the places.
Oh my
Here's
gosh.
where we're going to have one. Here's where we're going to have one.
Hey guys.
What kind of ball you want to use? Just
whatever. Tennis ball's fine.
No. I want a catch of all sorts. I want a lacrosse catch.
Yeah, maybe
I want
a frisbee.
football
Can we
catch,
get a frisbee going?
A frisbee catch.
Totally.
I want a baseball catch. I want all these catches. And then I'm going to show you what it's like to work in a fucking den of snakes.
Okay, first of all, you know what his fucking place is like, right?
I mean, I assume it's just his house and he makes everyone go there.
Well, it's a house.
That's exactly what it is. That's literally exactly what it is. Bert works. He has like 6 girls on his team, including his wife. And it's just like a house that he rents. You just have to go to his house. It probably smells all crazy in there. He's doing like something's burning. He hasn't taken a shower in days probably, right? And on top of that, think about the earlier time codes that we watched today. He sweats, his asshole sweats so much that it leaves stains on the seat beneath him, right? So the house probably smells crazy. You got to walk in there. You got to do a whole podcast. Think about that. That's like walking into where that girl, where she had sex with like 100 guys. You know what I mean? You walk into the room after that. You have to do a podcast after that. Disgusting. You know what I mean? Nobody wants that.
It's a house that is like where yarn collectors get together and talk about, you know what I mean? Like,
I just farted.
What it is such a fucking chick hang. It is the They would first of all, if they even visited,
it's like
your
a Portlandia
offices,
sketch.
Oh no! If they visited here, they would basically sue you guys for SA. Just for existing. They would exist, sue you. It's the complete polar opposite. It's a bunch of broads just sitting around being like, I think it's a good idea. Like,
Tom steals that voice from Chris D'Elia. Did you know that? When Tom does that voice, Chris D'Elia has been doing that voice like since he started. And every time. Tom started doing it like as soon as Chris got popular, Tom started doing that.
It's a bunch of broads just sitting around being like, I think it's a good idea. And like, I'm like, how do you fucking do this, dude? You need to hire a couple Barstool people, man.
I fucking bring Mincy.
We gotta go. We gotta come.
All right, that's it. Let's give it up. The boys trying to tear each other's studios apart. Look at that. I would never do that to my best friend. As a matter, I would steer my best friend in the right direction. So let's play a couple tunes real fast. You know what I mean? What we got going on here? Something light? A little something light? Yeah. So we're about to take a little bit of a break. But before we do, I just want to remind everybody, you can call into the show. Leave a voicemail for the show if you want some advice. You can leave it your question anonymously. You want to talk some shit, You want to just say your piece, you got something funny to say, if your voicemail is interesting, trust me, we will play it on the show. And you can call in to leave that voicemail at 316-396-0025. And you can catch all things Lost Aux Media, stay up to date with that stuff over at lostaux.media. There you can catch up on episodes that maybe get taken down on YouTube due to copyright. All the links to all of our socials. Be sure to follow us on Spotify and all the other platforms where you listen to your favorite podcasts. And of course, you can support the show by buying merch. We're about to take a little bit of a break. I got to use the bathroom, but I'm going to leave you guys with some tunes. Then we're going to come back to some Smoky Smoke, and we're going to get into Joe List's new special, Small Ball, here on Lost Aux Media. Be sure to call in 316-396-0025.
All this time, the options froze me. And now the throws have been forcibly taken off me. And I know you couldn't hear this song, but it's for you, yeah. You got me singing this through the pain.
Welcome back to Lost Aux Media, everybody. I hope you're still with us after that little break, you know. Gotta drink a lot of liquids, man. You're talking for a long time like this. Sometimes with those liquids comes a little bit of tinkle time, man. You need that tinkle time sometimes to get through a nice little episode like this. You know what I mean? So, as promised, we're going to get into Joe List's Small Ball. Now, if you guys remember a couple episodes back, I had mentioned something about this special. We were talking about an episode of The Regs, and in that episode, we had went over a time code where all of the boys on the show were sucking Joe's dick, except for Dan Soder. They were all talking good shit about the mothership, but Dan Soder was kind of throwing out the real shit. He's like, I heard comics say it's not a fun hang. You know, I heard it's hard to get in there if you're not one of the regulars, and nobody really likes hanging out there because Joe keeps it tight-knit. You know what I mean? Which is, I thought that was like complete opposite of why Joe even started a comedy club in the first place, right? I thought Joe started it because a rising tide raises all boats, man. It's like if everybody eats, man, then everybody eats, bro. That's just like the way it is, bro. We got to make good for everybody. It doesn't seem like it. But in that episode, I had mentioned how Joe List had a special that was coming out and how Netflix didn't want it. Not only did Netflix not want it, nobody wanted it. To the point to where, like, this guy, his big plan for this special was to release it in theaters. He wanted to release it in theaters. Here's the thing, though. you can't just like release a movie in theater. Like you have to pay for that. You have to like pay to get the movie into the theater, right? You know, and then the ticket sales, you make the money back, blah, 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 blah. Theaters aren't just going to like put up any old thing in the theater, right? So a guy like Joe, he doesn't have the budget to make it theaters all across the country for multiple weeks at a time, like you would a Marvel movie or something like that. So this guy decides to put the special out in select theaters for like one day. That's it. The day that it came out, I went to look up tickets where I live. I couldn't even find no theaters around me were even showing it. And I live next to a major city. I live next to Charlotte, North Carolina. That's a big enough city to where if it was going to play, you figure it would play there, right? So if I had to guess, this guy played it in like LA, New York, and maybe Philadelphia. You know, that's about it. I can't imagine it being anywhere else. He doesn't have the money for it. In typical Joe fashion, he does this why? Because he thinks it's artistic. You know, this guy came out with like he's coming out with like a documentary not too long from now. A documentary about another comedian that nobody's heard of before. Why? Because the comedian sucks. This guy is going on podcast tours promoting this documentary as if it's going to be like the next Scorsese. This guy legitimately thinks he's going to go somewhere with that shit. He thinks this like artistic theater, like cinema type thing is going to work for him. It's not. The shit went so bad in theaters that the shit was on Punch Up Live a couple days after that. You had to pay for it. So now he tried to get you to pay for it twice. In two different scenarios, both of them failed. Now where are we watching it? On YouTube. Give it up. Give it up for Joe List. We're watching it on YouTube. This is great. So I wanted to share with you guys a couple time codes from this episode. From this special. This is Small Ball, Joe List. Look at that. Two different stages. Come on, man. He wanted you to go to the theaters and see this shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joe List.
Look at that. I like this. So look, so you have two different right now for those of you listening at home, it's a split screen. You have Zanies in Rosemont, Illinois, and you have Zanies Old Town in Chicago. Both Zanies, two different stages, two different locations. Joe did one night, then did the other night. On the right, at the Zanies in Chicago, Joe attempts to do a one-shot walkout. What is a one-shot walkout? I'll tell you. So he attempts to do the one-shot walkout. This is where a comedian goes from the back green room or some sort of back area, if it's a cheap club that doesn't have a green room, and they attempt to walk out while they're being announced, right? And you got to time it just right because the camera is going to be recording the whole thing. You don't want to walk and then stop at the door, right? You have to make it seamless. You have to get up there, shake one guy's hand right as they're saying, Joe List, and then you walk straight out. Now, if you pay attention, these walkouts should be one continuous shot. You pay attention, look at the right-hand side here. It cuts. It does the walkout, and then it cuts to the audience clapping, right? Why? This guy fucked up the shot. He didn't time it right. That's the only reason. Otherwise, he would have done a cool one-shot walkout. Joe is not the type of guy who wouldn't have done that, okay? Pay attention to this. Look, he's doing one-shot walkout. Oh, he's following him. He's following him. He shook his hand. And then it cuts to the audience. Why? He probably walked out there, missed the timing, and had to stop and sit there for a second and wait for the guy to announce his name. And then he went on stage. And then he goes to himself, he goes, well, now it looks kind of weird and awkward, right? And we can't redo it because they already called my name, so I have to get on stage. So it's like, yeah, now we have to just cut something in. You know, he wanted you to pay to this. He wanted you to pay for this.
Wow. Thank you very much. Wow. That is very touching. All right. Thank you. YouTube is never going to believe this. They're going to be like, nah, fake, bullshit. I'm dumb. I'm an idiot. Are you guys dumb? Where are my dumb people? Who's dumb? Come on.
See, here's my thing, too. The two different nights, right? Because for those of you listening, of course, again, I say this. Now the split screen has moved into one screen. And it's going to be, this is the Zanies in Rosemont, Illinois. This is going to be Joe's first night that they filmed at the Comedy Special. The Zanies in Chicago is the second night. Now, normally comedians do this in one location. Why do they do that? In case one show goes bad, they can cut parts from one show, put it in. It gives you some room for the editor to work with, having multiple takes of the same show. They wear the same outfit. It's in the same location. They try to make the lighting look the same. They try to keep it as consistent as possible. Continuity is a big thing when it comes to shooting these things, right? Now, why is Joe doing like two different locations, two completely different looking stages? He's like wearing different clothes. Why did he do that? Why not have two of the same locations like everyone else would, two of the same outfit, two recordings of the same set, so that you have some room for the editor? My guess is that Joe couldn't afford to get the same crew twice, or he couldn't work it out with Zanies to be like, hey, I got to record here 2 nights in a row. They go, oh, well, we can't because tomorrow night we have Chris D'Elia coming in. He sells more tickets than you. So, like, we can't bump his day. You know what I mean? So you're going to have to just do the one recording day here, and then you got to move on. But I'll tell you what, if you don't get it on the first day, you can record over at the other Zanies. It doesn't even look that different. And you can get your second take there so that you have something to work with in the edit. And then he gets to the second Zanies. The curtain's a completely different color. There's a sign in the middle of the whole thing looks different. And he freaks out. He goes, what am I going to do? Okay, I can try to spin this into some like artistic type thing to where like maybe I could make it work to my advantage. And that's what we'll do with the special. No, it didn't work. I see right through it. Okay? Now watch this. This is going to be a quick segment before we get on to the last segment of the episode. But I wanted to show you. This guy's like bombing. And he keeps these in his special. He bombed like more than once. The first time it happened, the time we're going to watch right now, I was like, okay, it bombed, but he kind of like turned it around real quick so like I could see maybe why they would leave that in there. But then he bombs again later. I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? Like, did this guy not have enough material to fill up an hour? This thing was only 55 minutes. Without the bombs, I mean, this thing would be 35 minutes. Tops.
All the foods, really. Burrito. I knew nothing about Picasso. I was kind of embarrassed because I feel like I know about the arts a little bit. I looked him up. I read his Wikipedia page. And did you know this? He died in 1973. Did you guys know that? I thought he died in 1380. I almost shit. 1973. Picasso had a car. Is that unbelievable to you guys? Pablo Picasso was driving around Spain in like a Honda Civic, listening to Led Zeppelin on the radio. Ozzy Osbourne and Pablo Picasso were working at the same time. He saw 6 Super Bowls. That's great. I thought he lived next to a blacksmith. The guy's like at home watching the Green Bay Packers play the Kansas City Chiefs on a colored television set, drinking Mountain Dew. I feel like people don't laugh at that because I feel like when I say Mountain Dew, people are like, wait, no, Mountain Dew came out in like 78, 79, right? Is that what you're
This is where the misdirect goes. Did Mountain Dew come out in 1978 or 79? When did Mountain Dew come out? I feel like I tell people about that. They go, whoa, Mountain Dew wasn't around at that time.
thinking? Because that's what I thought. I said it one night on stage, and I was like, I got to fact check myself. And I looked up Mountain Dew, and you're going to shit. What year do you think Mountain Dew came out? Take a guess. 44.
1944. Okay? So he tells the audience member, guess when Mountain Dew came out. The guy goes, 1944 is my guess. What do you think happens after that?
Because that's what I thought. I said it one night on stage, and I was like, I got to fact check myself. And I looked up Mountain Dew, and you're going to shit. What year do you think Mountain Dew came out? Take a guess. 44. You ruined my joke. 1940. You were so close.
1940 is when it came out. Here's the thing, though. Joe ruined his own joke in that incident. I'll tell you why. Because 1944, the guy said 1940. The guy was still wrong. The guy was still wrong. You could have just been like, nope, close, 1940. But isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy that it came out in 1940? Wasn't expecting Mountain Dew to come out in 1940. You know? But no, Joe goes and steps on his own shit. All because the guy guessed kind of close to when the answer to the joke was. You're ruining your own shit, Joe. You're ruining it for yourself.
People don't laugh at that because I feel like when I say Mountain Dew, people are like, wait, no, Mountain Dew came out in like 78, 79, right? Is that what you're thinking? Because that's what I thought. I said it one night on stage, and I was like, I got to fact check myself. And I looked up Mountain Dew, and you're going to shit. What year do you think Mountain Dew came out? Take a guess. 44. You ruined my joke. 1940. You were so close. I really needed you to say 1985 or something, you asshole, but I don't mean it. You look upset. You're not an asshole. I'm just trying to be funny. That was a perfect guess. You nailed it. I just wasn't.
Now he's apologizing to the audience, bro. Calm down, man. Chill. He's like, I'm sorry. No, wait. Wait. No, are you sure it's okay that I make the joke? You know, well, you did fuck it up a little bit. Well, just move on, bro. Like you're bugging out.
Expecting you to get it so good. We'll retake it. Say when I say 1982. Ready? We're gonna take this from the top.
Now he wants to take the joke from the top.
What the fuck?
He wants to re-record the joke. He wants to re-record the joke. This is what, bro. This is not how you save a comedy set. You don't tell them, like, oh, we're going to redo it so that I can get it for, the recording.
What year do you think Mountain Dew came out? I said 82. What the hell? You blew it. What the? Stop improvising. All right, take 3. What year do you think Mountain Dew came out? 82. 82. You're way off. That's the year I came out, 82. Of my mother, not the closet. But
see, now that wasn't a bad way to try to save that. You do the double, and then oh no, we're gonna retake it again now for the 3rd time. It's like he's leaning into it now. It wasn't a bad way to try to save that. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, it's a one-time ordeal. I kept watching. I go, yo, dude, he's doing it again. He's like, that first bomb was only 6 minutes in of a 55-minute set. The second one I'm about to show you now before we move on, 19 minutes, this guy. 19 minutes he bombed in this one. Look at this.
And then when you have a C-section, like they have to put your wife back together. It's like a major surgery. So they put the baby in a crib, and they're like, Dad, you go be with the baby. We're going to take care of Mom. And then I was like a single dad for like 45 minutes. It was just the two of us. I was like, hey, what's up, man?
Hey.
I sang him happy birthday. I thought that was sweet. I was like, happy birthday to... He kept crying, though. It was hard. I felt bad. He was sobbing. I was like, you probably want your mother. This is a big moment. She should be here. She's kind of a deadbeat, honestly. I don't know what... She's over there behind the curtain. Probably making out with the anesthesiologist, if I had to guess. Then we were leaving. The doctor said, she goes, that was a major surgery. She goes, no intercourse for 6 weeks. You need time to recover. And then she was like, do you have any questions? And I was like, I have a quick one. No, just...
Oh, so now this is a joke about Joe's wife giving birth to their child. Now the doctor says to him, hey, man, your wife's pretty fucked up down there, dude. You're not going to be able to have sex for at least 6 weeks. You know. You have any questions or concerns for me? Now, this is where the big punchline is. Watch this.
The doctor said, she goes, that was a major surgery. She goes, no intercourse for 6 weeks. You need time to recover. And then she was like, do you have any questions? And I was like, I have a quick one. No, just real quick. Like, I didn't have surgery. So what's going on there? Can I have sex? You know?
Folks, look, he has to cut. This cuts over to the next one. That was a completely different shot. Why does he do that?
You know?
I'm just now realizing that the bomb was like in the like. Why does he go from like the one you bombed? So now you bombed in both spots. That's all I saw from that. I'm not gonna lie. When I had set this time code, I didn't even notice that it switched locations to the other club, the other night where he recorded. So you bombed both. That joke bombed both times, and you left it in. Why not just cut it out? That's crazy. Look at this. Red curtain, then goes to blue curtain. Different location. Joke bomb twice. Left it in. Why?
What's going on there? Can I have sex? You know? Folks. You see? Why can't I have sex is the joke. I didn't really say this. I just thought that would be funny. I feel like you guys are like, he means it. He's the kind of guy that will fuck women days after his child was born. Not funny. No, I didn't really. We took the baby home, and I never thought about this till I...
Pandering. Okay? Making fun of yourself is not going to help you, Joe. Okay? I'm telling you that right now. It's not going to help you. Okay? Let's give it up for Joe. Small ball. That was Joe List. Small ball. Give that a listen if you dare. You know, that's some good shit. That small ball. You can't beat it. I can't believe the guy wanted us to pay to see that in theaters. It's not even like, it seems like we're watching like to me that seems like if you tried to edit the Avengers and Spider-Man into the same movie, but like from the separate movies. Like you didn't just add Spider-Man into the universe. You go, oh, instead of like writing Spider-Man in, we'll just take clips from Spider-Man the movie and we'll just splice it into Avengers the movie, and that's how we'll add Spider-Man into the Avengers universe. That's what it seemed like to me. It's like it just every time it cut like that to a different location, it seemed like out of place. Just didn't even make any sense, bro. So what do we got left? We got a little bit of Kill Tony. Little bit of Kill Tony. Give it up, man. It's been a while since we done any KT on the show. And this is going to be an episode with Jimmy Carr. Look at this. Very interesting. I've never seen this on a Kill Tony show. The following content may contain suicide or self-harm topics. Would you like to proceed? Of course, I would like to proceed. What kind of question is that? The following may contain suicide or self-harm topics. Is another warning. Let's play the episode. Let's go to the time codes and hit that good old intro. Is it going to work? Let's see. Is this not going to play? Come on, man. Yo, did this episode like get taken down or something like that? I'm like curious if I try to watch this on a different browser. Is it? Sorry for all that dead air. I'm still trying to like it's kind of throwing me off. I had all these time codes set up for Kill Tony. It was supposed to be Tony Hinchcliffe, Jimmy Carr were getting these suicide warnings on the episode, and now all of a sudden I can't play the episode on there. So let's see if I can play it on a different browser, because I would hate to cut the episode short off of an entire segment not playing. So we got Kill Tony. This is Kill Tony with Jimmy Carr 5 days ago. I got to sign in to confirm my age. Okay, we'll do that. Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to enter the password there, bud. You know, it's no big deal. No one can see it. Okay. Let's do that. Let's sign in. Let's see. Will it play? Okay. So it looks like I'm going to have to do some work. Normally I have the time codes kind of like embedded into the episode. And right now I don't. So I'm going to have to do all of the maneuvering myself. We're going to go to the intro. That's going to be 1 minute and 54 seconds. Let's take it away. Tony Hinchcliffe!
Hey, this is Redneck coming to you live from the Comedy Mothership here in Austin, Texas for a brand new episode of Kill Tony. Give it up for Tony Hinchcliffe!
Holy shit, look at Tony's gay-ass belt buckle. What the fuck? God damn! Look at that. Oh, shit. It's a Buc-ee's belt buckle. Buc-ee's like the gas station, you know? And the logo's like a little otter wearing like a red hat. This guy's wearing like a diamond-encrusted Buc-ee's belt buckle coming right out the rip, dude. All black, though. Johnny Cash. Not bad.
Who's ready for the best fucking night of their lives, huh? We made it!
I'm sorry. I can't get over that Buc-ee's. Diamond encrusted Buc-ee's belt buckle, dude. No. Don't. You're not taking that belt buckle away from me. Go back. Let's get a shot of the belt buckle again.
Who's ready for the best fucking night of their lives, huh?
Look at that thing. Watch. There we go. Right there. That's the shot I needed. Look at that, dude. That thing is shiny, bro. That thing is sparkling. A diamond-encrusted Buc-ee's belt buckle. And knowing a guy like Tony, it's probably real. Like, he probably dropped every little bit of liquid cash that he had on hand to make this possible. Looking, he goes, you guys, you know what would be really cool? You know, because I'm not gangster, so I don't want to do, like, a gangster rap, like, chain, you know, with a thick... Yeah, you know, I don't want to do all that. Maybe I'll do a belt buckle, but it's got to be something relatable to me, you know? So, I mean, diamond-encrusted Buc-ee's belt buckle. The shit's going to be lit, guys. It's going to be lit. My diamond-encrusted Buc-ee's belt buckle is lit, bro. That thing looks insane, dude. So that's all I wanted to show you with the intro. As always, we like to check out Tony's outfit. Let's go to 1 hour, 5 minutes. That's going to be Tony dropping another racist banger. You guys remember last time he dropped a racist banger? It was he was talking about David Lucas. They were going to Kid Rock's house, and David noticed that he was the only black dude in the car. Tony goes, "Oh yeah, we're bringing you over to fight Kid Rock's other slave, man. That's why you're the only black guy here. We're bringing you over there." Tony likes these racist jokes. You remember Puerto Rico? The island of floating garbage? This guy. I'm telling you. You got to watch it with this guy, dude. So let's listen to Tony. He's about to drop him another racist banger.
JJ, what do you do for work with a set of teeth like that?
I'm actually it's military, so I get like a 90% disabled, so I get that monthly. So I've been doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I've been only doing comedy since 2019.
Well, thank you for your service. Can I ask, the disability didn't involve losing a belly button, did it?
No. It's a lung disease. I have a lung disease.
Oh, man, I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. I only do edibles now.
Okay. Awesome. And you got the lung disease from like burning garbage out in the...
No, it's a long story. Basically, they gave me a bunch of shots and was like, no.
Shit.
Yeah, I don't want.
So look at this. So this is a black guy. He was a bucket pool, black dude, big old set of buck teeth. But that's kind of beside the point. I'm just giving you an image to envision here. Now, the dude's talking about how he served in the military, right? Tony starts asking him questions. How'd you get disability in the military? Oh, I have a lung disease. Tony, his guess was that it was from burning garbage on like military barges or something like that, right? When he was deployed. The guy says, no, it was because they were giving us a bunch of shots. And now Tony's going to be like, oh, man, it's the vaccine, man. Because Tony's like, now he's like a Republican. You know, it's like Tony, he thinks he wants to be like cool with Donald Trump. He lives in Texas. He wants to start buying guns. You see the diamond-encrusted Bucky's belt buckle. This guy, he hates trans people. It's like he's right-wing. He's right-wing Republican all the way, this guy. So now he's about to start getting on his RFK shit. He's like, the vaccines are crazy, and you're always like, these kids will never throw a baseball. They'll never have sex with normal women. They're all autistic because of the vaccines. They'll never open up their own bank account. They'll never be able to know what it's like to actually talk to somebody in a normal voice like I have. Tony's going to do this whole vaccine spiel on this guy.
Gave me a bunch of shots and was like, no.
Shit.
Yeah, I don't want to talk.
Like vaccines?
Yeah.
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 There you go.
So it's
That's
all
what
good.
happens. You find out a lot about that on this real show with real people.
I didn't
find
wanna
out a
make
lot
like
about
people
that
say,
in
I'm
real
sorry.
life. Yeah. No, it's fine.
You find out a lot about that on Kill Tony. Yeah, Kill Tony. This is the show that people go to get the truth about vaccines. It's Kill Tony. Give it up for Kill Tony. Letting us know. Otherwise, without Kill Tony, how would we know about the truth about vaccines? How do we know? I wouldn't. I would know nothing about vaccines. This is where I do majority of my research is Kill Tony when I'm trying to figure out important stuff like this. This is good shit. And we haven't even gotten to the racist banger yet.
Here, the club is owned by Joe Rogan. Vaccine injuries are appreciated here. It's a real thing that really exists in real life. You don't see that on other mainstream networks. You can only find that here on YouTube.
Look, notice now he's so quick to praise YouTube. You remember, we've covered him in the past. He liked to talk shit about YouTube. Oh, now we have to bleep ourselves every time we say the word retard or else YouTube won't pay us anymore. And now all of a sudden YouTube is like this bastion of free speech. Oh yeah, you can get all your vaccine news here on Kill Tony. The main media lies to you. YouTube is really the only place you can get the truth. This guy is fucking crazy.
So right after you got that shot, did you notice something?
I basically went to the hospital on a Sunday, and then I left like a week before my birthday in April.
And what branch?
Air Force.
Okay. I was going to ask what branch do you hang off of sometimes with one arm?
God damn. Tony just called this black dude a monkey. Right in the middle of the whole thing. He goes, no, what branch do you hang? I was going to ask, what branch do you hang off of sometimes? You know, because you're an ape, right? We're all cool here, right? If Dave Portnoy was in here, Dave would be clapping his hands. Dave would be like, it's not Jewish, so it's all right with me. You know? It's when you make fun of the Jews, that's when I got a problem with it. So you making fun of this black guy for being like a monkey or whatever, like I'm cool with that. You know? Don't worry about it. You know, you're cool. Like, this is insanity, dude. This is crazy. Dave would be having a rip-snorting good time right now.
Oh, come on. What are you going to grow?
Where do you want to go? What show do you think this is? Jimmy blocking his face with his glass so that he can keep up.
Christ, Tony. Jesus. You're only just back from the Puerto Ricans.
Now look, and you got Jimmy Carr, who, like, this guy, don't let this dude fool you. I'm not saying he's like some great comedian or nothing, but this dude is mean as fuck, bro. Jimmy Carr, like, you think Tony's an asshole? Jimmy Carr is like an asshole, bro. Dude, that big buck-toothed black dude, look at this poor guy over here. Look at the teeth on him, right? When this guy came out, Jimmy started making fun of his teeth right away, bro. Like, right away. As soon as they were able to talk after the set, Jimmy's like, oh, what do you do for work? Or no, he said something like, something about asking him about brushing his teeth and how he's going to have to start now if he wants to get them done by, like, next week or something like that. It was like Jimmy goes and tears these people to fucking pieces, bro. And Jimmy's like, Jesus Christ, Tony, the black man. You can't make jokes about the black man, Tony. What you doing? You just made the jokes about the Puerto Ricans. Come on, mate. Now, look, this one, look, watch this. This next time code, this is why they put a suicide warning on this episode. This is actually kind of crazy. So this kid, he gets up there, right? And he fucking kills. He, like, has, like, probably the best set that I've seen for a bucket pool in, like, a long-ass time. And the guys are loving him. They're like, bro, you're going to be like a comedic genius. Like, you're fucking a natural up here and stuff. But his whole set was about suicide. That was the problem. He was funny as hell. Whole set was about suicide, right? So then Jimmy he goes, hey, man, I know you're joking and stuff like that, right? But he's like, you ever think about that stuff? Like, seriously, you ever think about that stuff? Because, like, you're real comfortable about joking about it. Usually jokes come from a place of truth, whether they be real or not. They still come from a place of truth. And the kids when you hear the kid's answer, everybody in the crowd's like, oh, this kid's going to actually fucking kill himself. It's like the saddest shit I've seen in a long time. Let's check this out.
Hey, how's it going? I'm going to have some fun. You guys think about killing yourself? Anybody? Okay, a couple honest people. That's cool. I think about it. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to do anything about it, but I think about it. I think about suicide like I think about home renovation. I'm going to do it eventually. But let's be honest. It would be a lot easier if I paid somebody to do it for me.
Oh, shit.
Suicide's fun. Not fun. Interesting. Suicide's interesting. How we try to prevent it is interesting. I was driving over a bridge that was over this big old river. And right when you get halfway across the bridge, right in the middle of the bridge, they have a little sign with the number for the suicide hotline. Which seems like it's too late. You could have put it at the beginning of the bridge. In the middle, you might as well put the number at the bottom of the river and it would do the exact same thing. You could take a QR code for BetterHelp, put it on a bullet, put it in a gun, put it in your mouth, pull the trigger. It would do the same thing as that sign on that bridge.
See, now this guy's killed. Everyone's loving him, right? Now I want to skip ahead. This is where it's gonna nosedive off, right? He's killing it. The guys are loving the fuck out of this dude. Now watch. We're gonna skip ahead a couple minutes. We're gonna get to the interview portion. That is, what's happening here with me mouse? There we go. All right, so let's get to the interview portion. What is that? 1:16:57. Listen to this.
Okay. So you and her were together. She moved down here too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what do you guys do for fun?
We like to hang out. We play video games at home a little bit, stuff like that. She comes out to shows sometimes, hangs out with me, stuff like that.
So now Tony's asking this kid about his girlfriend. Mind you, right before they started asking this next question to him, they were like, yo, you're so funny, man. We like your energy. Your jokes were funny. Like, this is great. Tony's asking him, like, normal questions, the whole thing. This is where Jimmy's about to ask him, yo, do you actually, like, want to kill yourself, bro?
You've been with her for 9 years.
Yeah.
Do you have any secrets to satisfying a woman for 9 years? How do you keep things exciting in the bedroom?
Guys, keep making them think they can touch your butthole, but don't let them do it.
Whoa.
Just, you know what I mean? Just give them a little go, oh, no. Go, oh, you want this? Mm-mm, no.
Yes.
You know the best way to do that, of course. Tell them you have whiskey hole.
Yeah.
Tony's
you
like
missed
in
a
love
hell of
with
a
this
thing
guy.
earlier, Ronaldo.
I thought that was just some British shit. I didn't know that.
This guy's great.
Very funny, Ronaldo.
They love this dude.
Incredible. How amazing. Wow, you're built for stand-up comedy, Ronaldo.
See? He's like the next Greg Giraldo, bro. They're loving this. And Tony's like looking at this guy as if Tony's in love. Tony will be super glued between this guy's legs by the end of the night.
Actually, I was on this show almost 7 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
When we were just visiting Austin or no, St. Louis?
Yeah, you guys came through St. Louis, came to Helium Comedy Club.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like 9 months into comedy. I was 20 years old and like 60 pounds lighter. It was nice.
Wow. First
Now
person we've had up here all night that's gained weight in the last few years.
Here comes the
Everyone else
nosedive.
is like, I lost 400 pounds. I don't have a belly button no more.
That is uncanny.
Not really known for my impressions, but I do a hell of a blazing Nana.
Here it comes, bro. This is Jimmy. Did you see that? Watch him. He goes, can I ask him something? Normally Jimmy wouldn't do that. Normally Jimmy would just turn around and start shredding the dude. But Jimmy's like really about to ask him this, like from the heart. And watch this shit nosedive. Like you've never. The energy goes off a cliff faster than you could blink. Watch this.
Blazing Nana.
I genuinely wanted to ask, because you opened up with the suicide bit. Yeah. Do you suffer with that, or was it just a bit?
I think if you don't think about it, you're lying. Everybody thinks about it a little bit. Again, I've never been like, I've never had something in my mouth or like stood on the edge of the bridge and, you know, but I've been like, you know, I've had some stuff in my mouth, but not a gun, okay? I've just... No, I've never tried to kill myself, but, you know, you think about it.
Womp, womp.
Interesting. How often do these thoughts come into your head?
I mean, I just get kind of sad sometimes. That's about it. You know, everybody gets sad a little bit, you know, and then you go, I want to get out of this town with my friends, and then you feel better. That's how I grew up.
Now, look, he's trying to be funny about it. It's not landing, bro. Everybody is, like, legitimately, like, worried for this kid now. Watch this.
Interesting.
Nothing.
Yeah. I don't know about this exactly. You know, we have... If you use the promo code KILLTONY, what is it? It's a space 80 at what? What is it? Talkspace. That's right. Talkspace.com. Use the promo code space80. Thank you. How about a hand for Yoni, everybody? He's a Jew that keeps the show.
Whoa. Chill, bro. If Dave Portnoy was here, he would have gave you a pass on the black joke. And now you're sitting here calling Yoni a Jew. Chill, bro. Because you're toting the line, bro. Don't make me call Dave.
He's a Jew that keeps the show on its tracks, everyone. Everyone needs a good Jew. I highly implore you to hire a Jew, no matter what industry you're in, really. Even if you're cleaning Airbnbs like his girlfriend, everyone can use a Jew. They give you good business advice, and there's one fan of the Jews back here. Welcome to Texas. There's one.
Stop it.
One guy that agrees with me. Ronaldo, one more time. What do you do for fun around here?
Well, I do. I like to go to hardcore shows.
No. Give it up, dude. I'm hoping that by the time you guys see this, Ronaldo is still with us, because it would be a pity to lose a brother like that off of just a couple jokes, you know what I mean? Dave Portnoy's over here freaking out. This was a fun episode, man. I got to give it to you guys. As always, thank you for joining me on yet another episode of Lost Aux Media. Be sure to catch us at lostox.media to stay up to date with all things Lost Aux Media. You can watch full episodes of the show, or you can support the show by buying merch. New episodes every Wednesday at 7 p.m. for video. Audio goes up 5 a.m. same day. That way you can listen on the way to work, and when you get home from work, you can watch them. Of course, be sure to call in and leave voicemails if you want to have your voicemail read on the show. That's 316-396-0025. As always, thanks again for joining me. Much love and much goodbyes. Later.
They wanna judge me, I'll testify. Catch me on Insta, I'm verified. They want me quiet, I amplify. I'm on my way to the best thing that you've ever seen. You know that you bow to the queen. You lose all your senses and reason. I'll give you something to believe in. OMW, on my way to you. Good at what I do. I'm OMW.